Chapter 58-67. The attacks of the two sides collided, resulting in a shocking storm. The entire void began to shatter, and the stars in the surroundings began to crack apart. The two dragon generals spat out blood. Long Yu's face paled, and blood flowed from the corner of her mouth. After that attack, they were injured again. Let's go. They didn't dare to fight, so they quickly ran into the deity ground. The people in the deity ground also sensed this and looked up at the sky. What a terrifying attack. Was she from the dragon clan? Was she the dragon queen? She was being hunted down. No way. Who was so bold? What a terrifying sword chi. Could it be Lin Wuti? He didn't hide and continued to chase. He was too bold. Wasn't he afraid of being targeted by the otherworld Heavenly Emperor? Countless exclamations sounded. The fifth dragon general also roared, "We're from the dragon race. Please save us. We're grateful." The third dragon general roared, "He's Lin Wuti. He's an enemy of the otherworld Heavenly Emperor. Please kill him." Clearly, they wanted to get the otherworld Heavenly Emperor's attention. Lin Xian huffed coldly, "Don't waste your energy. I'll just announce it. I'm Lin Xian, and I'm hunting them down. Whoever dares to stop me will be my enemy." Lin Xian didn't hide anything at all. He directly announced his identity and purpose, causing an uproar. Long Yu and the others were also stunned. Was this guy really not afraid of the otherworld Heavenly Emperor? Where did he get the confidence to fight the Arch? Slash. As soon as Lin Xian finished speaking, he slashed out with his sword again. The entire sky was split open, and the deity ground shook violently. Countless people looked up, dumbfounded. The other party's sword technique seemed to have become stronger again. Boom. Boom. 1 slash, 2 slashes, 3 slashes, and the fifth dragon general's body was torn apart. He was shaken to death. Long Yu had already started to burn her bloodline, and the 10,000 dragons portrait exploded with shocking power. But in terms of power, she couldn't beat Lin Xian. Lin Xian had the sword world and could continuously provide power to the sky-devouring jar. So, he wasn't afraid at all. The heaven-swallowing jar released a terrifying aura that swallowed the heavens and earth, blocking the 10,000 dragon dynasty. The clash between the two extreme weapons was like a battle between two emperors. Wherever it passed, the mountains and rivers beneath the deity ground were shattered. Countless living beings prostrated themselves on the ground. Boom. Lin Xian seized the opportunity and unleashed Rinnegan. The 6 paths of reincarnation tore the soul of the third dragon general apart. The third dragon general fell from the sky and died as well. Long Yu had gone mad. Had the last 2 dragon generals by her side also died? Now she was the only one left. The people of the immortal land were stupefied. Even such a terrifying dragon general fell, not a match for him. Who else could suppress Lin Wuti? Perhaps only a true martial monarch would be able to do so. Damn it, I'll fight you to the death. Dragon destroys the heavens. Long Yu abruptly turned around. Together with the descending aura of the 10,000 dragons portrait, it enveloped her palm. He struck out with his palm. This palm strike could shatter the heavens as it charged towards Lin Xian. The people of the deity ground were shocked. This was the combination of an extreme-grade weapons attack and the power of an extreme-grade weapon. Even the 9-crown king couldn't withstand it. He would die without a doubt. However, Lin Xian stood there and didn't dodge at all. He summoned the dragon's sword spirit. He slashed out with his sword. The dragon-shaped sword chi clashed with the dragon destroyer of the heavens. The giant dragon roared, and the world shook. The palm that was wrapped around the extreme-grade weapon was cleaved apart by the sword. The dragon sword spirit was now even more terrifying than before. Previously, when Lin Xian had broken through, the dragon sword spirit had absorbed the dragon vein from 100,000 years ago and recovered further. Its combat power had more than doubled. At this moment, it was no weaker than an extreme weapon. Had it been broken? Long Yu's expression was ugly. The people of the deity ground all gasped. Was this the legendary offensive saint art? Had it been developed in the hands of the other party? It's useless. I also have an extreme weapon, and I'm stronger than you. In terms of strength, cultivation, and divine powers, you're no match for me. I also have the dragon sword spirit. How can you mention it to me? Lin Xian said coldly, surrender. You're no match for me at all. When Lin Xian said this, he was full of pride. Back then, he was just a small martial artist. He could only look up to such a giant like the 10,000 Dragons dynasty. But now, the 10,000 Dragons dynasty was no match for him at all. Even dragon generals had died in his hands. Other than the Dragon Emperor, Long Yu was no match for him now. He could already look down on her. Long Yu was extremely angry. Was she being looked down on?
How many years had it been?
She had never felt such an atmosphere. She was the Dragon Emperor's woman. When the Dragon Emperor was still alive, who dared to offend her? All the strong cultivators in the universe had to kneel at her feet.
But now?
She was being looked down on by a young man. And this young man even wanted to kill her. Damn it. I can't accept this.
I won't bow to you.
Long Yu wanted to merge with the 10,000 Dragons picture. Do you think you're the only one who knows how to merge? Lin Xian sneered. He merged with the dragon sword spirit, and dragon scales grew on his body. He charged over and slashed at the 10,000 Dragons picture. An earth-shaking battle sounded. Extreme Dao power danced. After 10 moves, Long Yu was shaken out, and cracks appeared on her body. Even if she was merging, she was no match for this method. She could only run for her life.
Kill.
Lin Xian opened Sword World, and power surged into the Dragon Sword Spirit and the Heaven-Devouring Jar. He controlled these two super weapons and chased after her crazily. Long Yu had the 10,000 Dragons picture, but she was still suppressed and kept spitting out blood. It was over. Heaven-Defying Sword, slaying immortal. Lin Xian roared and created his own sword technique again. This sword was filled with killing intent. No matter where you were, or if you were in the universe, there was nowhere to hide under this sword. No. Long Yu roared. The 10,000 Dragons picture had been sent flying by this sword. How could she block it? Was she going to die here? She couldn't accept it. The people in the deity ground were also terrified. This Lin Xian was really too terrifying. He was a killing god. At this critical moment, the world broke open, and a dragon claw suddenly reached out from the depths of the deity ground. It carried earth-shattering power. It hit the immortal slaying sword. The two collided, shaking the world. Lin Xian could feel an unparalleled aura coming at him. He shouted and directly used the Heaven-Devouring Jar to envelop him. In an instant, that place was completely turned into nothingness. The people in the deity ground were all stunned. What happened? What terrifying power! Why did it feel like it was even more terrifying than an extreme Dao weapon? Some experts were terrified. This was the power of a Dharch. Had the Dharch revived? Lin Xian retreated into the distance, his face a little pale. The reincarnation gaze in his eyes bloomed and stared at the dragon claw. This was the power of a Dharch. Long Xiaotian, have you finally awakened? Brother Tian, it's Brother Tian. Long Yu was overjoyed. Brother Tian, save me. Brother Tian, kill him. Catch him. I'll torture him until he's better off dead. Long Yu seemed to see hope and roared crazily. She wanted revenge. She wanted him to live in pain and despair for all eternity. This was the consequence of offending her. Chapter 58-68. Countless people looked up. That huge dragon claw was like the claw of a heavenly dragon, standing there. It had the aura of an emperor. However, there was no response. After that dragon claw attacked, it did not continue attacking. Lin Xian grabbed the 10,000 Dragons diagram. It enveloped Long Yu and quickly left. Lin Xian did not chase after it. He could feel that it was Long Xiaotian attacking again. However, why did Long Xiaotian not respond? It seemed that the other party was not in a good state. He snorted coldly. When he became the 10-crown king, there would be a day when he would find him to fight. As for Long Yu, there was nothing to fear. This woman was no longer worthy of being his enemy. He had already surpassed her in every aspect. However, he did not plan to let her go completely. He planned to use her. Thinking of this, Lin Xian took out a few fruits from the sword world. He crushed them. There was a bug in one of the fruits. The bug instantly disappeared. Lin Xian's lips curled into a cold smile. This was a bug that Little White had found in the sword world. It was poisonous. It could enter a person's bloodline and hibernate. Once it moved, it could make a person hover between life and death. As for those fruits, they had a special effect. After crushing them, they could lock onto a person's tracks. It was very magical. This way, Lin Xian had left a trump card in Long Yu's body. Also, he knew the other party's location. This way, Lin Xian would be able to find the Dragon Emperor. Although the Dragon Emperor had not joined the Otherworld Heavenly King back then, he still had a grudge with him. They were sworn enemies. There would be a battle sooner or later. If it was possible, he would find the other party and kill him before he fully recovered. Although Long Yu was not dead, she was probably feeling worse than death. She was a proud woman who had once stood at the peak of the world, high and mighty. However, she had now fallen from the peak to the abyss. Furthermore, the feeling of being stepped on by him was definitely worse than death. He would let her continue to live in this pain and torture. The corners of Lin Xian's lips curled up. Let's go. His body flashed. He grabbed the two dragon generals' corpses and turned to leave. The battle was over. The people from the celestial land were shocked, but they continued to pass on the information. Some people said that Lin Wuyi was too strong and had really defeated the Dragon Queen. In the end, did the Dragon Emperor make a move? As expected, the Dragon Emperor was still alive. This great emperor was too mysterious. They had disappeared, but they didn't die. What were they waiting for? Or was he hiding from something? Countless voices of discussion could be heard. Some people guessed that this was the secret of the great emperor. Some people even guessed that it was Lin Xian. This person was too powerful. He was almost invincible under the great emperor realm. However, there were also people who shook their heads. No matter how strong he was only invincible under the emperor realm. Once the emperor realm appeared, he would die without a doubt. Not only did he offend the Heavenly King, but he also offended the Dragon Emperor. No matter who it was, they were all great emperors. Of course, there were some who said that it was not certain. Now that the Dragon Monarch had left, Long Yuran had retreated. On the other hand, the Otherworld Heavenly Emperor's attitude was quite strange. Not a single great emperor walked out. This undoubtedly gave Lin Wuyi time to think. I still remember that when he first came to the deity ground, he was only a quasi-emperor. Now, he's already the Nine-Crown King. How long has it been? Give him a little more time, and he might really be able to use this era's opportunity to break through and become a great emperor. At that time, with his trump cards, ordinary great emperors wouldn't be able to suppress him. He really is the most terrifying genius of this era. Countless envious voices could be heard. This news also spread to the various worlds. In the universe, countless stars and realms were shocked. Lin Wuyi had created another record. It was too terrifying. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty probably didn't exist anymore. What would happen to the dragon race? Lin Xian returned to the Divine Union, and the Divine Union cheered. Big Brother Xian, you're back.
Kid, you're fine.
That's great. Crimson Dragon and the others come over. Fu Hongya said, it's a pity that you didn't kill Long Yu. Lin Xian smiled, it's fine. She's nothing to be afraid of. Plus, such a proud woman living in pain. You can imagine how it feels. The others nodded as well. The more talented one was, the more they couldn't stand setbacks. All right, let's not talk about that woman. Look at what this is. Lin Xian threw the bodies of the two dragon generals on the ground, which made countless people gasp. The Hellfire Dragon also walked over. Behind him, there were some dragon race members. When they saw this scene, they couldn't help but feel their scalps go numb. They looked at Lin Xian with fear in their eyes. Lin Xian said, don't be afraid. I won't attack you because I'm also a member of the dragon race. Lin Xian was right. He also had a dragon soul. Plus, he had some dragon balance in his body. He had received too much power from the dragon race. Naturally, he was a member of the dragon race. He said, "I kill these people because they betrayed the dragon race." The dragon race's spirit would never yield. They would never yield to Prometha. They went against the spirit of the dragon race. They deserved to die. Let me show you something. The power of reincarnation in Lin Xian's eyes exploded. The scene of him saving the dragon race and 10-Crown King appeared again. The people of the dragon tribe raised their heads to look at this scene, incomparably shocked. Especially when 10-Crown King died, he let out an unwilling roar. The dragon race would never yield. Countless dragon race members cried. They cried and cried as they knelt on the ground. Ancestor. What did 10-Crown King represent? They knew very well. Even if you became a great emperor, you might not be qualified to be 10-Crown King. 10-Crown Kings were too rare. Above 9-Crown King was a great emperor under normal circumstances. If a 10-Crown King became a great emperor, he would be an existence that would shock the world and make ghosts and gods cry. The dragon race originally had such an existence. However, he was killed by the people of the otherworld Heavenly King. Unforgivable. Now they finally knew why Lin Xian was so angry and wanted to kill Long Yu and the others. This kind of person didn't deserve to be in charge of the dragon race. Dragon God above, we are willing to submit. The dragon race members knelt on one knee and looked at Lin Xian with cupped fists. This time, they were wholeheartedly convinced. Not only had Lin Xian saved 10-Crown King, but he had also obtained 10-Crown King's power. This power had been obtained by two people. One was Long Xiaotian, the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor had ruled the dragon race for 20,000 years, but he was no longer around. Long Yu wasn't worthy. Now it was the Dragon God's turn. Thinking about it, with Lin Xian's powerful talent, he would definitely be able to lead the dragon race to awaken once more. He would stand at the peak of the universe.
Good.
Spread the news of this scene and tell all the dragon race in the universe. I want the truth to be revealed to the world. Let's go. The experts of the dragon clan quickly left with this scene. Before long, the news spread throughout the universe. Countless people were shocked. So there was actually such a secret. Lin Wudi had actually done such a thing. Heavens, this was the power of time. Had he gone back in time? It was too inconceivable. The great emperor clans were also shocked. The power of time was incomparably mysterious. Even great emperors might not be able to control it. However, Lin Xian had actually had such a fortuitous encounter. He had been able to return to 100,000 years ago. Countless people were envious and amazed. Lin Xian didn't hide this matter. There was nothing to hide. Long Xiaotian did not die, then this matter, there will be a day when it will spread. Moreover, he had hidden it previously because the half-frog was still alive. He didn't want the green-robed great emperor to find it. Now, the half-frog was dead. Even if the heavenly emperor knew that he had gone back in time 100,000 years ago, what could he do? Therefore, spreading the news would be beneficial to his identity as the dragon god. Indeed, the dragon race members in the universe were shocked when they saw the scene. It turned out that the dragon race had such a secret. However, why didn't they know? The dragon emperor had hidden his memories. Could he be afraid of the dragon god? The dragon god is our benefactor. I think the dragon god can lead us to rise again. The dragon god is my idol. The geniuses of the dragon race all said that they wanted to follow the dragon god. Yes, that's right. They wanted to follow the dragon god. The dragon race members in the universe started to gather in the Divine Union. Chapter 5869. The Thunder Dragon Tribe, Wind Dragon Tribe, Sword Dragon Tribe, Water Dragon Tribe, Fire Dragon Tribe, Rain Dragon Tribe, countless Dragon Tribe members gathered in the Divine Union. At this moment, 10,000 dragons bowed. The people of the Divine Union were also excited. After joining the Dragon Tribe, the Divine Union had become stronger. Lin Xian's eyes shone brightly. His lips curled up into a smile. Holding the dragon sword in his hand, Lin Xian roared into the sky. I am the dragon god. Follow me, and I will let you stand at the peak of the universe. Also, I will avenge the dragon tribe's 10-crown king. One day, I will bring you to the other side. Greetings, Dragon God. Dragon God. Countless voices of worship could be heard. At this moment, 10,000 dragons bowed. Lin Xian had become the dragon god. He would be in charge of the dragon tribe. The news spread, and everyone came to congratulate him. The Yi family, the Phoenix tribe, and the Kuanpeng tribe all came to congratulate him. All eyes were on Lin Xian. Even the people of the deity land were shocked. The divine union was already very powerful. Now they had joined the dragon tribe. It was hard to imagine how terrifying that would be. It seemed like Lin Wudi's rise was unstoppable. No one knew who could stop him. Next, the divine union held a grand banquet to congratulate the dragon tribe. At the same time, Lin Xian started to organize his spoils. He awarded the people of the divine union. Everyone wanted to get their spoils. They were very happy. Bai Susu, the fantasy world patriarch, Fu Hongye, and the others were even more so. Lin Xian gave the weapons of the dragon generals to them. The newcomers of the dragon tribe were also envious. It seemed like there were many benefits to following the dragon god. Lin Xian did not treat them unfairly. He gave them a big gift as soon as he arrived. The Crimson Dragon personally set up a spirit gathering array to gather the spirit chi of the universe and baptize the dragon tribe members. The dragon tribe members were naturally very grateful. Lin Xian discussed with the Crimson Dragon, the Hellfire Dragon, and the others whether to establish their own forces in the deity land. After all, although the divine union was powerful, it was still in the universe. With the Holy Origin Ancient City as the foundation, there were countless resources in the celestial land, and it was extremely mysterious. If he could not establish a force there, he would be at a disadvantage. When Xueqi heard that, she said, "But we offended so many experts and sects from the celestial land. Would it be dangerous to establish a force there?" Lin Xian said, "It was indeed very dangerous, but didn't danger and opportunity always coexist? The greater the danger, the greater the opportunity." After some discussion, they decided to build Dragon City in the deity land. Naturally, he had to choose a place where the dragon veins gathered. There was also a dragon city in the depths of the immortal ground, but the location was not very good. It was just a random city that Long Yu had given after joining the otherworld Heavenly King. This time, Lin Xian wanted to make a good selection. It might not be in the depths of the deity ground. This was because there were also mysterious places in other places. There were even many places where great emperors were buried. Therefore, everything needed to be arranged properly. After accompanying Morong Qingcheng, Yan Ruyu, and Xueqi for a month, Lin Xian left. He set off with the Crimson Dragon and headed to the deity land to find a place to build Dragon City. After arriving at the deity land, Lin Xian gathered the Tianshui clan and the other chosen immortal clans. When these chosen immortal clans saw Lin Xian, they also bowed respectfully. "Greetings, Lin Gongzi." Although they were from the deity land, they had already submitted to Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, "I want to build a dragon city. Which place has the strongest dragon veins?" These clans mentioned some strange places, and Lin Xian went there personally. However, he was not very satisfied. Lin Xian personally went to look for it. He used his Rinnegan and walked through some strange places in the deity land. Finally, he found a place. Dragon Soul. The terrain of this place was very strange, and it had a terrifying power. Ordinary boundary emperors would not dare to come here. However, when Lin Xian arrived, the dragon sword soul in his body roared. "Kid, this place is not ordinary. It has a dragon soul." Lin Xian nodded. He also felt it, so he agreed to choose this place. He would build Dragon City here. The more Lin Xian looked at this place, the happier he was. Other experts did not dare to come here, but for the dragon race, this was a treasure land. He summoned the Crimson Dragon. When the Crimson Dragon walked out of the spatial array, its eyes lit up. "Kid, how did you find this place?" Lin Xian said, "I found it by chance." "How does it feel?" The Crimson Dragon was very excited. It was too unusual. Lin Xian also nodded. He said, "From now on, the dragon's sword." Its sword pointed to the sky. Lin Xian pulled out the immortal slaying sword and carved the words Dragon City in the void. From now on, the dragon race would soar here. They could build a teleportation array and let the dragon race come over to build their own home. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. The Crimson Dragon started to set up the array. When the news was spread, the dragon race in the Divine Union were also delighted. Had they found it? Then they started to use the teleportation array to teleport quickly. When they arrived at the land of the Dragon Soul, they were extremely shocked. They knew that Lin Xian had found an excellent place. Then they started to build Dragon City. All kinds of buildings, pavilions, halls, and mansions were built quickly. All kinds of metals, spirit stones, and array formations were sent over from all over the universe. The current Divine Union was the supreme overlord of the myriad realms. They controlled too many planets, so power and resources could be sent over continuously. It was not just the universe. The families and sects that Lin Xian controlled in the deity land also started to send over all kinds of treasures. The construction of Dragon City was in full swing. The Crimson Dragon was also a master. He set up array formations around and inside Dragon City. He wanted to make this place impregnable. As the dragon god, Lin Xian was naturally the city lord. The Crimson Dragon was Lin Xian's friend. He also had the bloodline of the Divine Dragon, so he naturally became the deputy city lord. This made the Crimson Dragon very enthusiastic. The Hellfire Dragon was also the deputy city lord. The commotion here attracted the attention of the deity land.
Who was it?
Someone was building the land of the Dragon Soul there. That place was so strange. Who would dare? It seemed to be someone from the dragon race. Countless voices of Tao and justice were heard. When they heard about the dragon race, some people did not dare to make a move. Of course, there were also people who were extremely arrogant. For example, some powerhouses born in the deity land. They were not ordinary powerhouses. They were from the demon race, and they were sky-devouring pythons. They already knew about the Dragon Soul and wanted to occupy it. However, the land of the Dragon Soul was very strange. In addition to them, there were other demon races in the depths of the deity land who also wanted this place. There was even a big battle because of this. For a while, no one dared to go to the land of the Dragon Soul. But now they heard that someone came to the land of the Dragon Soul and wanted to occupy it. The sky-devouring pythons were instantly enraged. So they came with murderous intent. In the land of the Dragon Soul, the dragon race also sensed that something was wrong. The Hellfire Dragon said. It seemed that someone was coming, and he was very powerful. Lin Xian heard and narrowed his eyes. Was there someone in the deity land who did not know what was good for them? It was okay. If he dared to come, they would fight back. Lin Xian led the dragon race and prepared for battle. On the other side, in the black clouds, countless sky-devouring pythons kept moving. Some of them turned into human form, and some maintained their demon beast form. They covered the sky and covered the earth. The black clouds pressed down on the city. When they came close to the land of the Dragon Soul, they were stunned. Someone exclaimed, "Oh my God, this is really the Dragon Soul. Where did all these pavilions come from? And that array, it was shining like a paradise on earth. What kind of divine being was this? How could they be so generous?" At this moment, a man in a black robe snorted coldly. "Ignorant thing. Isn't it just some arrays? What is it? Can it be more powerful than our sky-devouring clan? Our sky-devouring python clan is so powerful. We have so many experts. We didn't make a move because we were afraid of other demon clans. Otherwise, this dragon soul would have been ours long ago. I want to see who it is." With that, he walked forward and stood on the black cloud. He shouted coldly, "People of the land of the Dragon Soul, come out and kneel on the ground." His voice was like thunder, resounding in all directions. Countless people raised their heads to look at the sky. Is someone here to cause trouble? In front, The people of the land of the Dragon Soul also heard it. They were all on guard. Lin Xian snorted coldly. From today onwards, the land of the Dragon Soul was changed to Divine Dragon City. Since it's your first time here, leave quickly. I won't kill you.
Get lost.
Lin Xian's voice was also extremely cold. The sky-devouring Python clan was instantly enraged. The other party dared to build a city here. He was courting death. He dared to ask them to get lost? Unforgivable. The black-robed man snorted coldly. He waved his hand and said, "Attack." Immediately, the people around him took out their sacred weapons and began to move. All kinds of terrifying laws and attacks rushed over in an overwhelming manner. It swept across heaven and earth. Countless people were terrified. The cold aura was like an avalanche as it charged forward. However, at this moment, there were already many formations in the land of the Dragon Soul. These formations were activated to defend, forming a sky curtain. Endless laws and supernatural powers landed on the sky curtain, producing muffled, thunderous sounds. However, it did not break. Instead, it slowly disappeared. How could this be? Was it blocked? The people of the sky-devouring Python clan were shocked. Even the black-robed man's pupils constricted. This group attack was extremely terrifying. It was enough to turn countless cities into ashes. But now, it couldn't even break the other party's defense. How could they not be shocked?
Damn it.
Hundreds of sky-devouring pythons soared into the sky and transformed into their original forms. The black body danced in the air, bringing with it a monstrous power as it let out a series of roars. However, the people of the Dragon Clan were also angry. A small snake dared to be arrogant in front of a dragon? The Crimson Dragon took the lead and soared into the sky, turning into a dragon shadow and roaring between heaven and earth. Its roar swept across the land. Even many people of the sky-devouring Python clan were trembling. The people of the Dragon Clan sneered. A group of snakes dared to be arrogant? The people of the sky-devouring Python clan roared. We are sky-devouring pythons. We devour heaven and earth and eat all things. We have even eaten dragons. We are not afraid of you. It turned out to be the sky-devouring Python clan. Legend has it that they are very terrifying and can devour heaven and earth. The spectators of the deity ground were also shocked. This was an extremely terrifying ancient beast. Moreover, it lived in the depths of the deity ground all year round. Its strength was extremely terrifying. The Crimson Dragon laughed after hearing this. What sky-devouring Python clan? Eating all things? Aren't they just greedy snakes? Get lost, or Ben Huang will smash you into pieces. Chapter 5870. The people of the heaven-devouring Python clan were trembling with anger. Who wouldn't be afraid when they saw them? But now, the other party actually said that they were gluttonous snakes. How could they be gluttonous snakes with such a grand name? Damn it, they've gone too far. Everyone follow me. Devour them. These heaven-devouring pythons roared into the sky. They opened their bloody mouths and formed a black vortex to devour. The mountains, forests, waterfalls, and trees below were all swallowed. The ground cracked, forming countless deep pits. This scene was like the end of the world, causing countless powerhouses to panic. The entire Dragon City seemed to have become pitch black. Dragon City could be swallowed at any time. The Crimson Dragon was angry. Little gluttonous snakes, how dare you behave atrociously in front of me? People of the Dragon Clan, follow me. He soared into the sky and shot out terrifying dragon flames. Thousands of dragons shot out at the same time, and countless fireballs flew into the sky.
Boom. Boom.
The originally pitch-black sky shook violently. However, the bodies of those heaven-devouring pythons seemed to have turned into black holes. They wanted to devour these fireballs. The two sides were in a stalemate. It had to be said that these heaven-devouring pythons were really terrifying, as expected of ancient ferocious beasts. However, at this moment, Lin Xian waved his arm, and a sword light cut through the sky and earth. It directly cut through the void. The pitch-black sky regained its brightness. Hundreds of heaven-devouring pythons' bodies were broken and fell from the sky. Damn it! You dared to kill the powerhouses of my heaven-devouring python clan. The black-robed man was angry. Lin Xian snorted coldly. I gave you a chance to get lost. If you don't leave, then don't blame me for being impolite. Another sword flew out. The black-robed man was terrified and turned into a black hole. However, it was still pierced through, and one of his arms disappeared. The other heaven-devouring pythons were also terrified. This person actually ignored their devouring power. How was this possible? Lin Xian snorted coldly. Let's compete in devouring. I'll show you. He moved the heaven-devouring jar. A huge vortex appeared in the sky. As soon as this vortex appeared, the people of the heaven-devouring python clan trembled. Damn it, how was this possible? What was this? He actually knew the power of devouring too. Why do I feel like it's much stronger than the bloodline energy we've devoured? Some people even knelt down. The black-clothed man's body was also trembling. Let's go, let's go. He's too strange. The members of the heaven-devouring python clan were terrified and quickly fled. During this process, over 100 experts of the heaven-devouring python were devoured by the heaven-devouring jar. He turned into a bloody mist. In just a simple exchange of blows, the heaven-devouring python clan's people were heavily injured. The dragon clan's people cheered. He continued to build Divine Dragon City. On the other side, in the vast mountains, the people of the heaven-devouring python stopped. Their faces were extremely pale. Elder, what should we do? Someone asked. The middle-aged man gnashed his teeth. Damn it, he's really too despicable. I definitely won't forgive him. Although he said that, he didn't dare to go back because of his severed arm. Until now, it had yet to grow. The sharp aura on it made his hair stand on end. Just who was this person? However, he said, Humph, so what? My heaven-devouring python clan has deep accumulations. We even have an extreme-grade weapon. No matter how strong he is, he can't be stronger than an extreme-grade weapon. Right, that was right. The others also nodded repeatedly. Indeed, their heaven-devouring python clan had an extreme-grade weapon. Furthermore, it was an extremely terrifying extreme-grade weapon. Although it was only half, it was extremely terrifying. In fact, many of their devouring abilities had been learned from those weapons. Combined with their bloodline, it was absolutely terrifying. Oh, your heaven-devouring python clan still has an extreme-grade weapon.
What is it?
Just at this moment, a cold voice rang out, shocking the people of the heaven-devouring python clan. Who is it? Get over here. Does he think that it's Lin Xian and the others? They quickly sent out countless vortexes, swallowing the sky and the earth. It's useless. You can't devour me. A voice came from the black hole. Then, a handsome man walked over. This man was dressed in cotton clothes. He actually ignored the power of devouring, which shocked the people of the heaven-devouring python clan. It was not Lin Xian and the others of the dragon clan, but another young man. This young man was also strange. The people of the heaven-devouring python clan went crazy. As the famous ferocious beasts of the ancient era, they were not inferior to the dragon clan. Who wouldn't be afraid of them? Their devouring skills were enough to devour everything. But today, they were slapped in the face one after another. First, they were defeated by Lin Xian in the dragon clan. Now, a mysterious man appeared. He ignored their attacks. Who is this person? Who the hell are you? The man in cotton clothes in front of them raised the corners of his mouth into an evil smile. In the next moment, beside him, more black vortexes appeared. They were extremely terrifying. They confronted the power of the heaven-devouring python. This is? The people of the heaven-devouring python clan narrowed their eyes. You also have the power of devouring. Who are you? Are you in cahoots with those dragon clan people? Are you here to deal with us? They asked countless questions in a row. The people of the heaven-devouring python clan were facing a great enemy. The man in cotton clothes in front of them said, Remember my name. My name is Yao Guang. I am not in cahoots with the dragon clan, but enemies. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Don't you think so? Are you enemies with them? The elder of the heaven-devouring python clan was shocked. Yao Guang smiled and nodded. Of course. I have no ill intentions. I want to join forces with you to kill him. Really? Great, let's go back now. The black-clothed elder was excited. However, Yao Guang shook her head. No, you can't kill him. Do you know who that person is? Do you know what he has in his hands? The black-clothed elder didn't know. Yao Guang said, his name is Lin Xian. He has half of the heaven-devouring jar in his hands. That is an extreme weapon. You should know that. Lin Xian, this name was very unfamiliar. Indeed, the names of the dragon god and Lin Wudi were well known in the Four Seas. Therefore, when they heard the name Lin Xian, the people of the heaven-devouring python clan didn't remember it for the time being. Moreover, what shocked them even more was the heaven-devouring jar. An extreme weapon. You mean he has the heaven-devouring jar? The black-clothed elder was shocked. The people behind him also gasped. How could they not be shocked? Because the half of the extreme weapon in the hands of the heaven-devouring python clan was also the heaven-devouring jar. However, it was just a lid. Yao Guang said, with our strength, it's easy to defeat him. But it's difficult to kill him. Unless you can resist the heaven-devouring jar. The black-clothed elder gritted his teeth and said, this is really unexpected news. Young Master Yao Guang, thank you. This news is very important to us. His eyes were filled with excitement because he knew that the heaven-devouring jar was about to appear in its complete form. After killing the opponent and taking half of the jar, together with their lid, it would be a complete extreme weapon. By then, the strength of the heaven-devouring python clan would rise to another level. Thinking of this, how could they not be excited? They had to hurry back to the clan and report this matter. Chapter 58-71. Seeing that the other party wanted to leave, Yao Guang said, I'm willing to help you. All right, please. The black-clothed elder said with a smile. Then the group quickly returned. When the sky-devouring python clan received the news, they were furious. How dare he kill so many of their powerhouses? They would not let him go, especially when they heard that he had half of the sky-devouring jar in his hands. The eyes of the sky-devouring python clan lit up. The sky-devouring clan leader burst out with a cold light. He said, after waiting for so many years, we finally found the whereabouts of the other half of the sky-devouring jar. We must complete the collection and form the real sky-devouring jar. They began to arrange. As for Yao Guang, he was arranged to stay in a quiet courtyard. Yao Guang was not in a hurry. He did not participate in these things. Instead, he stood in the courtyard with his hands behind his back, admiring the flowers. However, his eyes had turned into two black whirlpools. Yao Guang formed a hand seal and used the sky-devouring demonic art to sense carefully. The corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. Yes, it was indeed the aura of the sky-devouring jar. It should be the lid of the sky-devouring jar. This time, he had found the sky-devouring jar. Next, he would let them fight. Lin Wudi, I'll give you some trouble. Let's see if you can withstand it. Of course, he did not expect to use the sky-devouring python clan to kill Lin Xian. Because Lin Xian was not easy to kill. His goal was the other half of the sky-devouring jar. To be precise, it was the sky-devouring jar in the sky-devouring python's hand. With this item, his strength would be able to grow even stronger. Yao Guang's strength had increased to a terrifying level. He had reached the Nine-Crown King. There was no other way. The sky-devouring demonic art was a forbidden martial art. It was extremely terrifying. Yao Guang had secretly devoured countless powerhouses. That was why his strength had increased by leaps and bounds. However, he had reached a bottleneck. If he continued to devour, his strength would not increase much. Without a fortuitous encounter, it would be difficult for him to improve. Therefore, he had to find the sky-devouring jar. In this way, he could continue to devour other powerhouses. As for the Nine-Firmament Quasi-Emperor in his mind, it was gone. To be precise, he had been devoured by Yao Guang. The process was not thrilling. Yao Guang had already set up his trap. He had no intention of letting the other party go, nor did he plan to join the otherworld heavenly king. He planned to devour the world and become a great emperor. After staying in the heaven-devouring python race for 5 days, the light-shaking realm cultivators made their move, because the heaven-devouring python clan was about to set off. This time, the great elder of the heaven-devouring python clan was leading the group of elders and countless heaven-devouring pythons. Of course, they brought the heaven-devouring jar with them. Yao Guang's eyes flashed with a cold light. He followed along. After sensing the strength of these elders, Zhang Xian shook his head lightly, not daring to act rashly. Now was not a good time to snatch the heaven-devouring jar. He wanted to wait until the two sides started fighting, especially when the heaven-devouring python clan was defeated by Lin Xian. That was his only chance. This time, they were full of confidence. They had never heard of Lin Xian. He only knew that there was a Lin Wuti, but not a Lin Xian. Who does this Lin Xian think he is? Wasn't it just because he had half a heaven-swallowing jar? But can he compare to us? This is the great elder personally making a move, and he even brought the lid of the heaven-devouring jar. He can definitely kill the other party. This time, we want revenge. The people of the heaven-devouring python clan were full of confidence. They still didn't know that Lin Xian was Lin Wuti. If they knew, they probably wouldn't be so optimistic. It was really possible that they would be so scared that they would kneel on the ground. The people of the dragon race still didn't know about these things. Lin Xian participated in the construction of Divine Dragon City. At this moment, Divine Dragon City was becoming more and more spectacular. Countless formations were spread out, and Lin Xian even created a divine dragon statue. It looked very similar to the dragon race's 10 Crown King back then. Lin Xian was reminding the dragon race to never give in. As for the Crimson Dragon, it carefully set up a formation. This formation borrowed the power of the dragon soul. It was an extremely terrifying formation. Once the formation was formed, it would be very difficult to break it apart from extreme-grade weapons. Lin Xian felt that it was not enough. In fact, he even asked Little White to find more treasures in the sword world. If they dug out some mysterious things and placed them in this formation, they could even block extreme-grade weapons. Lin Xian also personally went to the sword world. The toad was still there, absorbing power. It had already entered a very mysterious state. Lin Xian was incomparably surprised. He felt a trace of the great emperor's might from the toad. Obviously, the toad had already absorbed half of the frog's power. It was undergoing some kind of evolution. As for the final result, Lin Xian wasn't sure. He could only wait. During this period, Morong Qingcheng, Yan Ruyu, Xueqi, and the others also came through the teleportation formation. They accompanied Lin Xian and helped to build Divine Dragon City from time to time. Lin Xian's days were quite leisurely. However, Morong Qingcheng and the others couldn't stay here forever. After all, the Phoenix Race and Monster Emperor Mountain needed them. Fortunately, the Crimson Dragon's formation was superb. Even if it was to teleport across star fields, it wouldn't be a problem now. Therefore, it was very convenient for Morong Qingcheng and the others to come and go. There were new changes in Divine Dragon City every day. The formation on the Crimson Dragon's side was quickly condensing. In the end, it formed a huge dragon head that enveloped the entire Divine Dragon City. The dragon head was raised high. The dragon raised its head. This was an extremely frightening phenomenon of the heavens and earth. Countless people in the deity ground were shocked. Heavens, this was a stroke of genius. Was the dragon race really going to rise? They were unstoppable. Didn't they see that the Dragon Emperor and Higan hadn't made a move yet? Who could suppress the other party? Lin Wuti was too powerful.
Boom, boom, boom.
The dark clouds in the distance condensed again. Wherever they passed, everything turned into nothingness. They were all swallowed. Countless people quickly ran away, and news quickly spread. The heaven-devouring python race moved quickly and had already devoured many places. It was a group of demons that devoured the world. Countless people were fleeing for their lives. Gradually, the heaven-devouring python race was heading in the direction of Divine Dragon City. No way. Could it be that they were going to attack Divine Dragon City?
Someone said.
It was said that the heaven-devouring python race had some conflicts with the dragon race. Now, it seemed that they were here for revenge. Did the heaven-devouring python race have water in their heads? How dare they attack Linwoody? Did they want to die? Who knew? Perhaps they had some trump cards. Everyone discussed, but many people didn't think highly of the heaven-devouring python race. Lin Xian was too strong. Unless a great emperor came, it would be difficult to suppress him. The heaven-devouring python race didn't know. They didn't know that the person they were going to attack was Linwoody. At this moment, they finally arrived in front of Divine Dragon City. Countless dark clouds descended. The first elder shouted coldly, "Lin Xian and the dragon race, get out here. Kneel and accept your death. We'll take over the dragon soul. Also, hand over your extreme weapon. I'll give you a quick death." Chapter 5872. His loud voice spread all over the place. The people of Divine Dragon City naturally heard it. The people of the dragon race asked, "City Lord, what should we do?" The City Lord of Divine Dragon City was naturally Lin Xian. He said, "Just a bunch of ants. Ignore them. Continue with our business." The people of the dragon race nodded, ignoring him. After shouting for a long time, the people below fell silent. The people of the heaven-devouring python race laughed loudly. "What Lin Xian? What dragon race? They are nothing more than this. Are they just cowards who don't dare to respond?" That was it. They were extremely proud. However, some of the spectators said, it's not that they don't dare to respond. They are probably being ignored. What? When the people of the heaven-devouring python race heard that, they were instantly enraged. They were being ignored. Who dared to ignore them? The first elder looked down carefully. He saw that the people in Divine Dragon City were still busy, as if they were air. Were they really being ignored? Detestable. Men, attack him. The people of the heaven-devouring python race quickly gathered and formed a large bow. Then, the laws on their bodies gathered and formed a black arrow. This black arrow contained endless devouring power. Wherever it passed, it could devour everything. The people of the heaven-devouring python race pulled the bow and released the arrow. The black arrow turned into a meteor, forming a vacuum in the air. It charged down. This was the combined attack of the countless experts. The other party's city would definitely be reduced to ashes. This was the consequence of ignoring them. Buzz. Buzz. The black arrow danced. The array formation of Divine Dragon City below flickered. The huge dragon head roared at the sky. The dragon raised its head, shaking the 9 heavens. Roar. The terrifying dragon roar made the blood of countless dragon race experts boil. A loud dragon roar also came from their bodies. The 10,000 dragons raised their heads, ignoring everything. The black heaven-devouring sword stone cracked under this dragon roar, turning into pieces. Damn it! It actually blocked it. The people of the heaven-devouring python race had unsightly expressions. They did not expect the other party to have such a terrifying array formation. Everyone in Divine Dragon City heaved a sigh of relief. Ignore it and continue building. When Yao Guang saw the scene, she also narrowed her eyes. She had to admit that Lin Xian was indeed very strong now, making her jealous. But soon he would surpass him. He walked over and said, "First Elder, do you see? They were simply too arrogant. They did not place you all in their eyes at all. Why was he still holding back? Didn't he bring the heaven-devouring jar?" He directly unleashed an extreme Dao attack to let them know that the heaven-devouring Python clan was not to be challenged. Yes, that's right. The others also nodded in agreement. The elder in black also said, "First Elder, let's use our trump card. We need to let everyone know that no one can challenge us." The Grand Elder took a deep breath. All right, let's use the sky-swallowing jar together. He formed a hand seal and carefully tore open the void. A black lid floated up and down. The design of the lid was simple and unadorned. It was pitch black, and as soon as it appeared, it released an enormous amount of power. There were mysterious patterns on the lid, and a terrifying aura emanated from it. Do it! The Great Elder roared angrily, holding the lid in his hand. The people of the heaven-devouring Python clan in the surroundings all activated their bloodline power and poured it into it. Go to hell! You dare to look down on our heaven-devouring Python clan? Unforgivable! The lid of the heaven-swallowing jar was forcefully pressed down.
Boom.
At this moment, heaven and earth shook. Countless claps of thunder sounded, and the void shattered. Everyone looked up at the sky. Their faces were full of horror. What happened? Even more people fell to their knees in the void. At this moment, everyone was stunned. In Divine Dragon City, countless dragons roared in horror. The Crimson Dragon's expression changed. It's the power of an extreme Dao weapon. Who's attacking us? Damn it, is the Otherworld Heavenly King here? Are the heaven-devouring pythons from the Otherworld Heavenly King? Lin Xian's pupils constricted. This aura is... This was not only the power of an extreme Dao weapon, but also the power of the heaven-swallowing jar. Half of the heaven-swallowing jar in his hand flew out and kept spinning. Could it be? Lin Xian's eyes bloomed, and an extremely terrifying light of reincarnation pierced through the 9 heavens. He looked up at the sky. In the sky, there was a black lid that was descending rapidly. It was the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar. Lin Xian was ecstatic. He didn't expect that one day he would be able to see the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar. With a wave of his hand, Lin Xian also threw out the heaven-swallowing jar, forming a terrifying vortex. The two collided, and 2 black holes devoured each other. Then, they dissipated between heaven and earth. Was it blocked? The people of the Dragon Clan heaved a sigh of relief. The Crimson Dragon and the Hellfire Dragon both flew over. What a terrifying aura. Why did it feel so similar to the heaven-swallowing jar? Lin Xian said, it's not similar, but the same. That's the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar. The Crimson Dragon gasped. The lid of the heaven-swallowing jar is in the deity ground, and it's in the hands of the heaven-devouring python. Lin Xian smiled. Yes, it's a pleasant surprise. The heaven-swallowing jar was indeed very mysterious. It was left behind by the heaven-swallowing Great Emperor. He was a super mysterious powerhouse, and his whereabouts were still unknown. Moreover, only the heaven-swallowing jar and the heaven-swallowing demonic art were left behind. Without his orthodoxy, without his family, and without his goals, there would be no Taoist teachings. Not to mention finding the whereabouts of the other half of the heaven-swallowing jar. But I didn't expect that I would find it now. The Hellfire Dragon also smiled. It seems that we can condense the complete heaven-swallowing jar today. Lin Xian nodded and flew into the air. On the other side, the people of the heaven-swallowing python clan were also shocked. Was it blocked? The Great Elder's face was cold. He could feel that the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar in his hand was shaking violently. The other party's aura was the same as his. It was the other half of the heaven-swallowing jar. Today, they could finally condense it.
He laughed.
Lin Xian, hand over the heaven-swallowing jar, and I'll give you a quick death. Lin Xian flew into the air. He came close and said in a low voice, I'll also give you a chance to live. Hand over the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar, and I'll spare your lives. I'll even allow you to join the Divine Union. What a joke. Who do you think you are? How dare you spare our lives? Join the Divine Union? Are you worthy? The people of the heaven-swallowing python clan laughed. Elder, if you attack again, just kill him. Extreme Dao confrontation. Without the heaven-swallowing jar, he was nothing. Some of the powerhouses were very arrogant. The Great Elder shook his head. Young man, you're too reckless. Do you know that there's something called extreme Dao confrontation? Not to mention that the two were originally one. The great elder waved his hand, and the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar formed a terrifying light. He wanted to perform extreme Tao confrontation. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the heaven-swallowing jar flew out. The two faced each other in the air. Opposite. The powerhouses of the heaven-swallowing python clan walked over. "Young man, watch me kill you." Devouring blade. A black blade appeared in his hand, and he slashed out. The pitch-black light flickered, and even the light was swallowed. This move would definitely be able to split Lin Xian in half. Lin Xian also raised his hand and slashed forward with a blast of sword aura. "It's useless. You're no match for me." The two attacks exploded at the same time and swallowed each other. In the crowd, Yao Guang was also nervous. "Lin Wuti, let me see how strong you are." Chapter 58-73. With a deafening sound, the opponent's sharp blade shattered, and the body of the powerhouse of the sky-devouring python clan was split in half. He was killed in one move. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. The pupils of the sky-devouring python clan constricted. "You're courting death." This time, the three of them attacked. 3 ultimate attacks, and a terrifying devouring power swept across the sky. It was useless. Lin Xian shook his head slightly and slashed out again. The 3 figures were split in half, and blood stained the sky. How was it possible? He was so powerful. The people of the sky-devouring python clan were all stunned. They realized that they seemed to have made a wrong decision. At this time, Lin Xian said, "If you hadn't confronted each other, you might have been able to survive.
But you foolishly left."
Extreme weapons. In that case, I'll let you know what absolute strength is." Lin Xian punched out. The terrifying fist, with the vast power of the sun, swept across the world. From a distance, it was as if the real sun had descended between heaven and earth. The people of the sky-devouring python clan felt the monstrous power. Following that, their bodies began to split apart. "No, damn it. Why is it like this? Run, block it for me." Countless roars sounded, but they couldn't block it at all. With one punch, hundreds of powerhouses of the sky-devouring python clan were shattered. "You're really too weak. You can't even withstand a single blow. What's going on?" The first elder's face was full of horror. The second elder also exclaimed, "Who are you? Who are you?" Lin Xian laughed.
"Who am I?"
"You came to kill me. Don't you know who I am?" "Impossible." The third elder vomited blood. I've never heard of the name Lin Xian. Where did you rise from? You're really idiots. You've never heard of Lin Xian. Haven't you heard of Lin Wuti?"
"What?"
Lin Wutis. The people of the sky-devouring python clan were stunned. How could they not have heard of Lin Wuti? That was an existence akin to the god of slaughter. He swept across the 6 major sects and was invincible in the world. He was the strongest person below the great emperor. Such a person was a legendary figure. Suddenly, the first elder's pupils shrank. Could it be that Lin Xian and Lin Wuti were the same person? Thinking of this, their souls trembled. The first elder gritted his teeth and said, "You are Lin Wuti?" Lin Xian nodded. This was no secret. "Yes, I am Lin Wuti." The people of the heaven-devouring python clan knelt down. They actually attacked Lin Wuti, and now, moreover, he was so arrogant. He even boasted shamelessly. Thinking of this, they wished that they could give themselves 2 tight slaps. "Elder, what should we do?" The faces of the younger disciples were pale. After all, this was the legendary killing god. They really dared to make a move. One must know that while their heaven-devouring python clan was very powerful, they were still no match for the combined might of the 6 great clans. Back then, it was said that he had brought 3 apex weapons with him, but he was still unable to take down the other party. Now, they only had the lid of the heaven-devouring jar. Wasn't it a joke if they wanted to kill each other? It turned out that it was Lin Gongzi. "Greetings, Lin Gongzi." The first elder hurriedly bowed and said, "We didn't know it was you, young master. We have offended you. We will leave now." "Do you want to leave?" Lin Xian sneered. Don't you think it's too simple? The first elder and the others frowned. At this moment, Yao Guang, who had been silent, spoke. He was wearing a black cloak that covered his body. He said, "It's impossible for you to leave now." The first elder and the others frowned. Yao Guang continued, "Because Lin Wudi's target is the lid of the heaven-devouring jar. Unless you hand it over, don't even think about leaving today." The first elder and the others' faces turned ugly.
They all looked at Lin Xian.
Lin Xian nodded. "That's right. You don't know what's good for you. You came to challenge me. You were supposed to die, but I'll give you a chance to live. Hand over the lid of the heaven-devouring jar, and I'll spare your lives."
Impossible.
The first elder shook his head frantically. The others also snorted coldly. "This is absolutely impossible." Some young geniuses said, "Is Lin Wudi really that powerful? With so many of us, I don't believe we can't kill him." Yes, that's right. This time, thousands of people quickly rushed over. The terrifying power turned into a peerless killing intent. They rushed out in an instant. Lin Xian was enveloped by this power.
Drowned.
Those young geniuses clenched their hands in excitement. This was a surprise attack. This time, the other party should be dead.
Whoosh.
As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Xian walked out of the black hole in front of them, unscathed. He was still alive and uninjured. These young geniuses all went crazy. They knelt on the ground in fear. What kind of power was this? Thousands of geniuses attacked together. They could definitely sweep everything away. However, they couldn't cause any harm to the other party. They had never seen such a scene before. In an instant, their confidence crumbled. However, Lin Xian raised his hand and sent a slap toward them.
"You've angered me."
"No. Please stay your hand," the first elder and the others exclaimed. However, it was too late. This slap smashed thousands of geniuses into pieces, and a sea of blood filled the sky. The first elder and the others were all crazy. In the blink of an eye, thousands of geniuses died just like that. Their hearts were broken. At this time, Yao Guang sneered. "Hurry up and make a decision. Otherwise, not only these geniuses, none of you will be able to leave." Hearing this, the first elder and the others stared at Yao Guang. "Are you with him?" Yao Guang laughed. "No, I can save you. I can stop him." "Really?" The first elder and the others didn't believe it. Yao Guang said, "Believe in my strength, but I have a condition."
"Tell me."
The first elder and the others hurriedly asked. Yao Guang said, "I can defeat him, but it's very difficult to kill him. He can control an extreme weapon, but I can't. So my condition is, let my soul imprint on the extreme weapon. In this way, I will have the ability to protect myself." "Impossible." The first elder shook his head frantically. What kind of joke was this? The other party wasn't a member of their sky-devouring python clan at all. How could he imprint a soul imprint on it? They wouldn't allow it. There were only a few people's soul imprints on the sky-devouring jar. For example, the clan leader and the first elder. The others weren't qualified at all. Now, he couldn't bear to let an outsider imprint a soul imprint on it. Yao Guang sneered. "Then I can't do anything." After that, he stood aside with his hands behind his back. He wasn't worried because he knew that the sky-devouring python clan would collapse. At that time, they would definitely ask him for help. As long as he imprinted a soul imprint on the extreme weapon, the next thing would be easy. The first elder and the other said, "Everyone, let's attack together." 6 elders walked out of the hall. They roared angrily and charged over. The strength of these 6 guys was even more terrifying than the previous thousands of geniuses combined. They were veteran powerhouses.
Boom. Boom.
Fists, palm prints, eye techniques, devouring sword techniques, saber techniques. 6 different attacks erupted in an instant, making people think that it was the end of the world. Did they want to die? Lin Xian sneered. He also attacked. Chapter 58-74. Lin Xian had defeated the 6 elders with a single punch and a single sword strike. Moreover, 5 of the elders had all fallen, leaving only the first elder. The first elder had gone crazy. The whole world became extremely quiet. The surrounding people who were watching the battle were dumbfounded. They thought that the sky-devouring python clan was an ancient ferocious beast that no one dared to provoke. However, in front of Lin Xian, they were like ants. Lin Xian looked down at the first elder and asked indifferently, "Do you feel despair?" The first elder even had the heart to die. This was more than despair. He had never experienced this before. It was as if they had used all their strength, but still couldn't compare to a finger of the other party. "I can help you." At this moment, Yao Guang, who was next to him, spoke again. Lin Xian frowned tightly. He stared at the other party, but found that his gaze couldn't pass through the other party. There seemed to be a layer of power enveloping the other party. This person was very mysterious. However, he should know.
Who is it?
Was it that person? Lin Xian thought of a person. He wasn't too sure about this matter, because back then, that person had already been ruthlessly trampled under his feet. Back then, the other party wasn't even a quasi-emperor, but now he had such a mysterious power. If it was really the other party, it was a little scary. Hearing Yao Guang's words, the first elder also turned his head.
He was just about to say something.
However, at this moment, a cold snort came from afar. "Young man, you're too reckless." As soon as the voice fell, the void in front of Lin Xian shattered. A terrifying black hole appeared, and a palm appeared in the black vortex. That palm held a sharp sword and stabbed it fiercely. No one could react to this scene. The first elder was also stunned. Did someone come to help them? When he felt this power, he was overjoyed. This was the power of the clan leader. He was reckless. Lin Xian sneered and slapped out with his palm, blocking the other party's long sword. On his palm, the divine fire jumped as if it covered the sky and the earth, directly tearing the black hole that filled the sky. The sharp sword was blocked. Not only that, but the hand that had reached out from the black hole was also slapped in half by Lin Xian. Roar! A beast-like roar came from the black hole. Then, a figure appeared. This was a middle-aged man. He walked with a majestic gait. However, at that moment, his face that was filled with dignity was incomparably malevolent. "Are you hurt?" Even he was no match for Chu Feng. "I don't believe it." He let out a furious roar and transformed into a terrifying, heaven-devouring python. His terrifying voice was about to devour the heavens and the earth. The entire world was trembling, and the boundless earth was shattering. Lin Xian, on the other hand, brandished his 9 sons' divine fist to counter it. The power of his divine body burst out completely. Now Lin Xian was the 9-crowned king. His divine body was already very close to great success. Only the last realm was left. Lin Xian's physique alone would be able to contend against a great emperor. However, it was extremely difficult to reach great success in the 9-yang divine body. In the past, not every successor of the 9 sons could achieve great success. Only an extremely small number of people could achieve great success. Now, Lin Xian also knew that the so-called great success of the divine body should be the realm of the 10-crowned king. It could be said that it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Therefore, it was very difficult to reach great success in the divine body. However, Lin Xian was confident. Now, although it wasn't great success, it was still extremely terrifying. It was difficult to find a match among the 9-crowned kings. The two collided, erupting with a thunderous sound. Endless black holes appeared, wanting to devour Lin Xian. In the end, Lin Xian tore all the black holes to shreds. The two exchanged more than 30 blows. Lin Xian's fists became more and more ferocious. The last punch shattered the opponent's shoulder. The patriarch stepped on the void and covered his wound, his entire body trembling. His eyes were filled with shock. He was really no match for this young man. As for Lin Xian, he took a step forward. It was over. He waved his embroidered robe, and endless sword energy seemed to turn into divine dragons that danced wildly. Every single one of them was powerful and terrifying to the extreme. Impossible. Could it be that he didn't use his full strength before? Seeing this scene, the sky-devouring patriarch was terrified.
He wanted to escape, but it was too late.
His body was pierced by hundreds of rays of sword energy. Although he didn't die, he was severely injured. And this was when he used the power of his bloodline to devour the power. Otherwise, any other nine-crowned king would have died long ago. He was shocked. As expected of the sky-devouring python race. You can even devour some of my sword energy. However, you can only devour a little. Therefore, you are no match for me. Patriarch. The Grand Elder and the others who were still alive broke down when they saw this scene. Even their patriarch wasn't a match for him? I can help you. What are you hesitating for? Let my soul be planted on the lid of the sky-devouring jar. I will make a move to ensure your safety. At this moment, Yao Guang's voice sounded again, filled with endless hope. The Grand Elder and the others looked at the patriarch. The sky-devouring patriarch also gritted his teeth. In the past, he would never have agreed to this condition.
But now?
He was really desperate. So he said, "Okay, I agree. But don't play any tricks. Otherwise, the sky-devouring python race won't forgive you even if we die." "Don't worry, I won't play any tricks." Yao Guang was extremely excited. He was one step closer to his goal. Then he started to plant his soul. The process was actually very fast. Lin Xian frowned. When he was about to make a move, Yao Guang had already turned around. "We meet again," Yao Guang said in a deep voice. The Grand Elder and the others were startled. It seemed that they knew each other. "It's really you." Lin Xian harumphed coldly. "I didn't expect you to be so reckless. You dare to challenge me? Wasn't the lesson I taught you before enough? You are no match for me at all. That was in the past, but not necessarily now. Do you know how I spent all these years in the deity ground? I hid here, and there like a mouse. But I swallowed 100,000 powerhouses. I have already cultivated the demonic sky-devouring skill to the extreme. With one more step, I will become the new sky-devouring Great Emperor." Yao Guang looked up at the sky and laughed. His black robe was also torn apart. Finally, his real face was revealed. The sky-devouring patriarch and the others gasped. The demonic sky-devouring skill. This person was actually the successor of the sky-devouring Great Emperor. He had swallowed 100,000 powerhouses. And he didn't attract anyone's attention. This person was too well hidden. The people in Divine Dragon City also felt their scalps go numb. A peerless Great Emperor. The Crimson Dragon and the others gritted their teeth. Damn Yao Guang, he is really a scourge. This boy must be dealt with this time. We can't let him leave again. Lin Xian also frowned. The demonic sky-devouring skill was indeed terrifying. And the other party had already started to have designs on the sky-devouring jar. He said, "You really don't know what's good for you. I won't let you leave today. People like you should go to hell." "It's useless, Lin Wudi. You can't kill me. Unless you take out a few weapons to deal with me, you are no match for me at all." Yao Guang's body stirred up a storm. The nearby black hole bobbed up and down around him. And in the black hole, various supernatural powers and immortal spells appeared. It was extremely terrifying. Chapter 5875. The terrifying energy surged forward, heading straight for Lin Xian. Scram! Lin Xian split open the sky with a single punch. After shattering the sky and earth, he charged forward. Tens of thousands of streaks of sword chi flashed on his body. The two sides clashed, and the biting cold sword chi pierced through the sky. However, the black holes around Yao Guang were indeed terrifying. They swallowed up all the sword chi. All kinds of mysterious method power appeared in those black holes. In the blink of an eye, the two sides exchanged 10 blows before retreating. The space between the two of them shattered and turned into nothingness. There was still a terrifying energy lingering in the air. How powerful! This Yao Guang was actually so terrifying. Oh heavens, has another peerless expert risen to power? When the spectators saw this scene, they went crazy. He actually managed to block Lin Wudi. The heaven-devouring pythons were also delighted. They seemed to have seen hope. However, the people of Dragon City frowned. What kind of existence was Lin Xian? He was an invincible expert who had swept through the 6 great sects. But now, he had met his match? Even Lin Xian was surprised. As expected of the demonic heaven-devouring art that had swallowed 100,000 experts. It was indeed powerful. Ha ha ha, Lin Wuti is only so. I've only just used my demonic heaven-devouring art. Next, I'll let you feel despair. Yao Guang laughed and charged forward with boundless power. His attacks caused the sky and earth to tremble.
Boom.
Boundless flame shot out from one of the black holes. Another black hole flashed with terrifying sword chi. In the next instant, the black hole was filled with endless lightning. The demonic heaven-devouring art was much more terrifying than the heaven-devouring pythons. Not only had Yao Guang swallowed 100,000 experts, but he could also use their divine abilities and immortal techniques. This was the terror of the demonic heaven-devouring art. At this moment, all kinds of immortal techniques appeared one after another. He was too powerful. Countless people looked up. This person was incredible. It would be difficult to find a match for him in the 9 Crown Kings. Not only that, but even a group of people wouldn't be his match. This person could sweep through an entire area. Lin Wuti had really met his match. Sword chi flashed under Lin Xian's feet as he constantly dodged. Countless people were even more shocked. Was Lin Wuti going to avoid him for the time being? Was he being suppressed? It was truly unbelievable. The demonic heaven-devouring art was a cultivation technique created by the heaven-devouring great sovereign. It was said that back then the other party had swallowed billions of living beings and became enemies with the Underheaven family. In the end, he battled his way to become a great emperor. This was an extremely terrifying expert. Now that his successor had appeared, he was definitely not simple. Lin Wuti, you're retreating. Are you afraid? Yao Guang laughed loudly. Sky-devouring clan leader, and the others laughed sinisterly. When I catch you, I'll pull out your tendons and skin you alive. I'll make you wish you were dead. They wanted revenge. They wanted the other party to go to hell. Lin Xian laughed. The heaven-devouring demonic art was indeed powerful. You were able to unleash 100,000 mystiques and immortal arts. But do you think you can defeat me with just this? Why not? My heaven-devouring demonic art is invincible under the heavens. It's definitely not something you can block. Lin Xian sneered. Ignorant fool, I'll show you what it means to have a myriad of divine abilities. Lin Xian took out the immortal slaying sword. Boundless sword chi circled around his body. It was a heaven-defying sword technique. The power of the great dragon's sword soul surged out. Lin Xian struck out with his sword. The sword of flame, sword of lightning, sword of seawater, and sword of space. Lin Xian performed thousands of sword techniques by himself, as if he had turned into a peerless god of war. This scene caused countless people to be alarmed once again. It couldn't be, right? How could he also have so many divine abilities? Could it be that he had also swallowed 100,000 experts? Impossible. Everyone went crazy, and the members of the heaven-devouring Python clan were even more dumbstruck. Boom, 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 the law of fire against the law of fire, the law of thunder against the law of thunder, and the law of sea against the law of sea. The 2 sides clashed once again. Lin Xian's sword swept across the land and split the 9 heavens and 10 earths apart. The light-shaking realm had actually been suppressed purple by his opponent, and he had no choice but to retract his black holes. They circled around him to block the attack. So powerful, Lin Wuti actually had such strength. After exchanging 100 blows, Lin Xian sent his opponent flying with a single slash. He stood above the 9 heavens and said in a deep voice, "Did you see that? This was how the myriad divine abilities were used. Damn it." Great Dragon Sword Spirit Yao Guang's face darkened as she gritted her teeth. The others also exclaimed in surprise. Was this the power of the Great Dragon Sword Spirit? It was too unbelievable. Some people said, isn't the Great Dragon Sword Spirit's attack power strong? How can it perform thousands of divine abilities? An old man said, the Great Dragon Sword Spirit is an attack saint technique. Not only is its attack powerful, but it can also perform thousands of divine abilities. And I heard Lin Wudi say that it's a heaven-defying sword technique. I think he has the feeling of using strength to overcome strength. He will use your strongest domain to defeat you. Everyone gasped when they heard this. Was this the power of the great dragon sword spirit? The members of the heaven-devouring python clan were also in despair. Yao Guang snorted coldly. I haven't lost yet. I can still fight. Heaven-devouring demonic art, devour for me. Facing the power of the great dragon sword spirit, Yao Guang actually wanted to devour it. His expression was ferocious. After devouring your sword chi, I will have this invincible power. Devour for me. The others gasped when they heard this. This guy was really crazy. Even the members of the dragon clan felt their scalps go numb. The crimson dragon frowned. This was too crazy. Wasn't this guy afraid of dying from overeating? Lin Xian also sneered.
Stupid.
The great dragon sword spirit is enough to destroy everything. Your heaven-devouring demonic art can't either. You can't devour it. The sword chi on his body became even more terrifying, as if it had turned into thousands of dragons, baring their fangs and brandishing their claws. The vortex came to the dragon's head, and the two sides fought. Boom, boom, boom. Yao Guang slashed his palm and merged into the black hole. The black hole became even more terrifying. In an instant, it swallowed some of the sword chi. Refine for me. I want this power. His expression was ferocious. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The great dragon sword spirit in his body roared again. The power of the sword chi suddenly exploded, piercing through the black hole. The black hole was torn apart, and the dragon that was swallowed rushed out again.
Huffed.
Yao Guang retreated as if he had been struck by lightning. He spat out large mouthfuls of blood. He roared crazily, his black hair dancing wildly. He couldn't devour it? Damn it, damn it. His face was full of jealousy. The Qianquan sword technique used all things as swords. Lin Xian waved his long sword and performed another sword technique. Suddenly, the 9 heavens were filled with sword chi. This was an extremely powerful power. It had the power to shock the heavens and make ghosts and gods weep. Everything in the formation was about to be destroyed.
No.
The Grand Elder and the others hurriedly hid under the cover to defend. Yao Guang, on the other hand, was attacked head-on. He roared crazily. All the black holes on his body merged, turning into 3. They formed a triangle and enveloped him. 3 Qianquanxi roared angrily. Black light shot out from the 3 black holes, dividing the entire world into 3 halves. Those attacks were all blocked. Lin Wudi, I won't let you go. Today, I will devour you. Everything you have will be mine. A vortex appeared on Yao Guang's body. With his palm as the center, it quickly grew larger. Chapter 5876. Yao Guang roared, letting out an earth-shattering roar. The 3 black holes around her quickly expanded. Previously, it was 3 parts of heaven and earth. Now, it was devouring the world. This world, give me power. Not good, retreat quickly. The people around were terrified. Some people ran too slowly and were instantly swallowed by the black holes. Then their bodies split open and turned into power. Damn it, this guy is crazy. Is he going to become the enemy of the world? Everyone roared in horror. Yao Guang laughed loudly. So, what if I become the enemy of the world? I just want to devour the world. You are all just my power. Be prepared to die. The 3 black holes devoured endless power and became more and more terrifying, sweeping toward Lin Xian. 3 parts of heaven and earth? Then watch me, 6 paths of reincarnation. In Lin Xian's eyes, the power of reincarnation bloomed, and the divine fire and immortal qi seeds merged into it. The divine fire fragments jumped, the immortal qi fragments danced, and the power of the dragon's sword soul also merged into it. Among the 6 paths, the heaven, earth, and human paths suddenly erupted with power. The heaven path fused with the divine fire seed, The earth path fused with the immortal chi seed, and the human path fused with the dragon's sword soul. It suddenly erupted. The three paths fought against three parts.
Boom. Boom.
There was a shocking collision. Everyone was terrified. The entire area was turned into nothingness. Dragon City shook violently. But at this moment, Dragon had raised its head and roared. Inside Dragon City, all of the Dragon Tribe members cooperated with Dragon raises its head to resist. They roared, "The Dragon race will never surrender." This force condensed into a transcendent force that swept across the world and blocked the black holes in the sky. On the other side, Lin Xian's mood was even more unstable. Among the 6 paths of reincarnation, the heaven, earth, and human paths erupted with power that swept across the world. It actually suppressed 3 parts of heaven and earth. Damn it, how could it be like this? I don't believe it. Yao Guang was angry. Her demonic sky-devouring technique couldn't do anything to the other party? Impossible. She shouted coldly, and 2 weapons appeared in 2 of the black holes. Those were 2 broken weapons. However, they were extremely terrifying. One was a broken spear, and the other was a broken fan. As soon as the 2 weapons appeared, they brought forth an earth-shattering power. Fear rose in everyone's hearts. This weapon was definitely out of the ordinary. Although it wasn't an extreme weapon, it was enough to make one's hair stand on end. The 2 weapons flew towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian sneered and blocked the broken fan with his Zhu Xian sword. As for the broken spear, Lin Xian used the universe ring. The universe ring knocked the broken spear away. Yao Guang's arm cracked from the impact. Lin Xian swung his sword and slashed out. His fighting spirit was high. Every strike caused the earth to shake and the mountains to shake. Sword chi surged forward like an avalanche. At this moment, Lin Xian was truly like a peerless god of war. Yao Guang could only passively defend. Even so, he was still beaten to the point where he was forced to retreat. Lin Xian shouted coldly, "Yao Guang, where's your trump card? Where's your attack? Make your move. Let me see the might of you devouring 100,000 experts." Every word of his was filled with immense power. Lin Xian was like a peerless god of war, unstoppable. Yao Guang felt very aggrieved. Was he being suppressed? Damn it. The meridians in his body had turned into black holes, spinning nonstop. At this moment, he had also completely turned into a vortex. His entire body, starting from his arms, rapidly changed. He turned into a human-shaped vortex and suddenly pounced on Lin Xian. Go to hell. In an instant, he enveloped Lin Xian. Not good. The surrounding people were all stunned. City Lord. The people of the dragon race shouted. The Crimson Dragon and the Hellfire Dragon were also worried. This Yao Guang was too crazy. Did he refine himself too? Unbelievable. You didn't expect it, right? I'm a vortex myself, so you can't kill me. Yao Guang smiled wryly. His voice sounded in the black hole. Lin Xian was also surprised. You're really ruthless, even to yourself. However, do you think you can kill me by turning into a black hole? You're too naive. Because my body is also a treasure body. I've also tempered myself into a peerless divine sword. Lin Xian's body bloomed with endless sunlight. He seemed to have turned into a divine sword of the sun, sharp and unstoppable. Every bone contained peerless power. At this moment, they were condensed into one and were really powerful. Lin Xian transformed into a sword and collided with Yao Guang, transformed into a black hole. The 2 collided again, and the sonorous sound was endless.
Boom. Boom.
The rumbling sound continued. Gradually, Yao Guang's black hole dimmed, and some places were even split open. That was impossible. He was crazy. At this moment, Lin Xian was getting braver and braver as he fought. Not only did he transform into a peerless sword, but there was also a dragon shadow circling around his body. He transformed into a dragon and a sword. The 2 forces were fusing, and Lin Xian seemed to be about to transform into a dragon sword. As soon as this aura was released, it directly split the black hole open. Yao Guang vomited blood, and was sent flying.
No.
The split black hole turned into two halves of his body. It wanted to heal, but it couldn't. Damn this power! Yao Guang roared, and the two halves of his body floated in the sky. It was extremely strange. The other people's scalps went numb. The people of the heaven-swallowing python clan were also crazy. Yao Guang was so powerful, how could he not defeat the other party? Lin Wuti was too strong. Lin Xian pointed his sword forward and said in a deep voice, "You lost." Yao Guang snorted coldly. He was indeed defeated. He turned himself into a black hole and was still no match for him. He had no more trump cards. But so what? Lin Wuti, I admit that you are very strong, but I am not weak either. The next time we meet, I will definitely become a great emperor. At that time, if you don't become a great emperor, I will kill you personally. After speaking, Yao Guang soared into the sky. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You still want to leave? Do you think I will let you go? Yao Guang laughed loudly. He ignored Lin Xian and suddenly activated the soul imprint. My purpose this time was not to kill you, but to snatch the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar. Now is my real purpose. With a roar, the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar shook violently. Under the lid, the faces of the heaven-swallowing clan leader, the Great Elder, and the others changed drastically. Damn it, you dare? They were crazy. Yao Gong's purpose was not Lin Wuti, but their extreme weapon. Damn it, this guy did not have good intentions from the beginning.
Stop him.
The Great Elder rushed over with the others. However, Yao Guang turned into two black holes and directly swallowed the Great Elder and the others. The Great Elder and the others turned into heaven-swallowing pythons and also created black holes to block. However, how could they be a match for Yao Guang? The black holes were swallowed by the black holes. They did not even have time to scream. The first elder and the others had perished. Only one was left, the heaven-swallowing clan leader. The heaven-swallowing clan leader wanted to control the extreme weapon to block. However, he made a wrong decision. He should not have let Yao Guang plant the soul imprint on the extreme weapon, because now Yao Guang could also control the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar. Humph! Yao Guang used her soul power, and the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar shook violently. The two were fighting, and for a moment, there was a stalemate in the void. Yao Guang slapped out a palm and attacked the heaven-swallowing clan leader. Chapter 58-77. The leader of the sky-devouring clan screamed and flew backward. Half of his body was swallowed. He was so scared that his hair stood on end. Damn it, you're too despicable. The leader of the sky-devouring clan regretted agreeing to Yao Guang's condition. Yao Guang sneered. You're too weak. You have such a treasure, but you're still so weak. If you gave it to me, I would have become a great emperor. Treasure, only the strong can get it. Get out of here. He attacked the leader of the sky-devouring clan crazily, making him vomit blood. The leader of the sky-devouring clan was desperate. However, at this moment, a cold voice sounded. You're right. Only the strong can get the treasure. But do you think you're strong? You can only lower your head in front of me. Lin Xian's voice sounded. Yao Guang's pupils shrank. I have to hurry up. He activated his soul mark crazily. The sky-devouring jar shook violently, trying to take him away. Lin Xian sneered. Yao Guang, you keep saying that you're strong. Today I'll show you what real strength is. The gap between you and me is like the gap between heaven and earth. Impossible. I don't believe it. What else do you have besides the dragon sword spirit? Yao Guang snorted. He was confident that he was only a little weaker than Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian laughed. Open your eyes and see clearly what absolute suppression is. He opened the sword world, and the power inside rushed out crazily. Full recovery, sky-devouring jar.
Boom.
The half of the sky-devouring jar under Lin Xian's control suddenly exploded. A boundless black vortex swept across the world, and the power of the extreme Tao pierced through the sky. The entire deity land was startled when it sensed the force. Countless people prostrated themselves on the ground. The people of Divine Dragon City also looked up at the sky. Is the extreme Dao weapon fully recovered? It was incredible. The leader of the sky-devouring clan went crazy and turned to run. Yao Guang's pupils shrank. You have the power to fully recover? That's impossible. He was really crazy. How much energy would it take to fully recover the extreme Dao weapon? Lin Wuyi just finished fighting with the 6 major sections. Where did he get the power to fully recover?
No.
I couldn't accept it. The light-shaking realm cultivator howled in rage. He was also afraid. This power was enough to kill him instantly. He quickly rushed towards the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar. But at this moment, the heaven-devouring jar in Lin Xian's hand had already smashed down and swallowed everything. Not only Yao Guang, but even the lid of the heaven-devouring jar and the heaven-devouring clan's clan leader were swallowed up. Boom, 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 the boundless black hole was surrendering. The entire deity ground sank into darkness. It was so dark that he couldn't even see his own fingers. Everyone's hair stood on end. Even the powerful families in the depths of the deity ground were alarmed. Higgin frowned as well. Someone has fully recovered. Is there an extreme weapon? Emperor Baiyu snorted. Ignore them. Our goal is the high heavens. Let's go. These people moved quickly. The black hole in the sky gradually disappeared. The sky-devouring clan leader had already fallen. Yao Guang was also in despair. She was only left with a remnant soul. She wanted to struggle and leave, but in the end, she was stepped on by Lin Xian. Yao Guang had fallen. She had fallen with despair and unwillingness. Lin Xian waved his hand. The lid of the heaven-devouring jar was also suppressed and merged with the heaven-devouring jar. Although it was not subdued, it was thrown into the sword world by Lin Xian. Next, it was not difficult for him to subdue the lid of the heaven-devouring jar. After doing this, the people of Dragon City all walked out. The Crimson Dragon exclaimed, "You really killed him." Lin Xian used his Rinnegan to check carefully. Then he nodded. Yao Guang is dead. He will never appear again. Don't worry. I'm talking about the heaven-devouring demonic art. It's such a good thing. Why didn't you take his soul? Why did you kill him? Lin Xian shook his head. It's fine if I don't cultivate a forbidden martial art. The others also sighed. Is the heaven-devouring demonic art lost again? It probably won't appear again in the future. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He did not take Yao Guang's soul. However, the heaven-devouring demonic art was not lost. The heaven-devouring demonic art was engraved on the heaven-devouring jar. Lin Xian discovered this the moment he got the lid. Originally, after separating, there was nothing on the 2 extreme weapons. However, once the lid of the heaven-devouring jar was closed, countless mysterious veined patterns appeared on the surface of the sword. It was a cultivation technique that recorded the heaven-devouring demonic art. Therefore, the heaven-devouring demonic art would not be lost. Of course, this secret was only known to Lin Xian himself. Let's go back. Lin Xian waved his hand and left. After returning, he began to recover. At the same time, he asked the Hellfire Dragon to bring the people of the Dragon Clan to the Heaven-Devouring Python Clan to take over the Heaven-Devouring Python Clan. The patriarch of the Heaven-Devouring Python Clan and a group of elders were all killed by him. Since the apex weapons were gone, it would be very easy to take them down. As expected, the Hellfire Dragon brought the experts of the Dragon Clan. Not long after, they attacked the Heaven-Devouring Python Clan. They opened the treasury of the Heaven-Devouring Python Clan and transported all the treasures to the Divine Dragon City. The people in the Divine Dragon City cheered and became more and more powerful. When Murong Qingcheng and the others heard the news, they rushed over from the Phoenix Clan and the Demon Emperor Mountain respectively. Lin Xian lived a peaceful life with them for a while. During this period of time, he had completely recovered the energy that he had consumed in the battle. The next day, he entered the sword world. He was ready to completely subdue the heaven-devouring jar. There were some broken soul imprints on the lid of the heaven-devouring jar. However, they were quickly destroyed by Lin Xian with the great dragon sword soul. Then he imprinted his soul imprint on it. At this moment, the heaven-devouring jar was complete. It floated beside Lin Xian and slowly rotated. There were mysterious patterns on it. It was like a smiling face, but also like a sad face. With a smile that wasn't a smile, he looked down at the crowd of living beings. Lin Xian could clearly sense that this was the scene outside the heaven-devouring jar. The heaven-devouring demonic art was engraved inside the heaven-devouring jar. Only he could sense it. Was the heaven-devouring demonic art able to devour the world? Lin Xian shook his head.
It was different from his Tao.
The news of the battle spread. The entire deity land was shocked. In the depths of the deity land, the people of the Purple Mansion also learned about it. The Purple Mansion was shocked. Was Yao Guang dead? What a pity. Emperor Zi Luo frowned. He was in charge of collecting and integrating resources. The death of Yao Guang made him sigh. Otherwise, with such an expert, his future would be limitless. Emperor, you have to get rid of Lin Wudi quickly. Otherwise, there will be endless trouble. Emperor Zi Luo sighed. Do you think I don't want to? But now the heavenly land was more important. No matter how strong Lin Wudi was, he couldn't compare to the heavenly land. If the heavenly land was obtained by the God realm, it would be troublesome. The people of the Purple Mansion were puzzled. Was the heavenly land really that important? Emperor Zi Luo said, Your Purple Mansion will continue to be in charge of collecting information. Keep an eye on Lin Wudi. I have important things to do. He quickly swept through the depths of the deity land. The families that were originally his subordinates quickly gathered. Those who didn't submit were mercilessly suppressed. Now that Higan had made a move, there were only two outcomes. Either submit or die. Chapter 58-78. Zi Luodong attacked and swept in all directions. She gathered a group of families and sects and then led them to the heavenly land. At the same time, Great Emperor Baiyu, Thunderclap Great Emperor, and the others also began to move. Apart from them, there were also some great emperors from the forbidden lands of life who acted alone. For example, Great Emperor Baigu and the others were also investigating the heavenly land. Because only these places could allow them to improve again. The people from the divine realm, namely Lin Zhan, Lord Alcohol, and the others, were not idle either. They also gathered forces such as the Heavenly Court and the few extreme weapons from the Extreme Path world. The 8 trigrams, the Aquarius of Life, the Destructive Spear, and so on quickly moved out. They came to the heavenly land to fight. In an instant, the wind and clouds gathered in the heavenly land. Although the people in the deity ground didn't know what was going on, they could still feel a biting cold aura. It came from the depths of the deity ground. In fact, more than one great emperor had appeared, and there was even the power of extreme weapons. This also shocked the people in Divine Dragon City. At this moment, the news had spread in the deity ground that there was more than one great emperor. This meant that it was the power of the Permitha. Could it be that the Permitha was gathering forces to attack Lin Wudi? It was possible. Lin Wudi was so arrogant before. He defeated the 6 families and slapped the Permitha in the face. Now that the Permitha had made a move, it seemed that Lin Wudi was in danger. Yes, more than one great emperor had come. No matter how strong Lin Wudi was, he couldn't resist. After the people in Divine Dragon City received the news, they were extremely anxious. They looked at Lin Xian and asked, What about Dragon God? Lin Xian frowned. He used his Rinnegan to observe the world. At the same time, he sent countless experts to the depths of the deity ground to investigate the situation. After investigating, he heaved a sigh of relief, because he found that the Permitha had made a move. There was more than one great emperor, and it seemed to have taken action to suppress some experts and sects in the depths of the deity ground. And it took these people away. What exactly was it doing? Lin Xian wasn't sure. But soon, he received a message from Lin Zhan. After reading the message, Lin Xian instantly understood. So it turned out that they had gone to attack the celestial land. No wonder their momentum was so great. Lin Xian curled his lips into a smile. It seemed like Higan could no longer care about him. After all, he was insignificant compared to the high heavens. In the meantime, this gave him the opportunity to sweep through the depths of the celestial land. In the depths of the deity ground, there were many clans and sections. Many of them had submitted to the otherworld heavenly king. Every year, he would provide Higan with a lot of resources and treasures. The number of these treasures was astonishing, so it was impossible for Lin Xian to refuse them. After all, he was also a part of the realm of the gods. Now that the two sides had officially declared war, Lin Xian naturally had to gather a batch of treasures and resources. This gave him a chance. In the depths of the deity ground, many experts of the clans and sects had been taken away. If that was the case, then the other party's clan would be extremely weak. If they made a move now, they would definitely be able to control the situation. After Lin Xian returned, he informed the people of Divine Dragon City and immediately mobilized the Divine Union's power. Everyone was gathered in one place. The people from the Divine Union and the Dragon Tribe took a deep breath when they heard this. Was a war about to break out? Their blood was boiling and they were not afraid. However, Lin Xian said, "No. Let's split into 3 groups. First, I'll sweep through the clans and sects in the depths of the deity ground.
Second,
Qincheng, Susu. Use the power of the Divine Union to gather resources from the various realms and prepare them. I'm going to send them to the high heavens. Rosalong, Diabolical Dragon, take the people of the Dragon Tribe and wait in Divine Dragon City. Once I've completely defeated the clans in the depths of the deity ground, I'll summon you to take over." Lin Xian assigned tasks. Everyone started to move. The current Divine Union could be said to be very terrifying. Its power had already surpassed the great Emperor clans. The Divine Union was just an alliance that contained too many ancient clans and peerless sections. There were also great Emperor clans like the Phoenix Tribe. Also, there were powerful sects like the Sacred Hall in the quintessential world. These people quickly headed to various parts of the universe to gather resources. On the other side, Lin Xian also moved and headed to the depths of the deity ground alone. In the depths of the deity ground, the sects and clans were much stronger than the outside world. Every clan had more than one 9-crown king. In the depths of the deity ground, there were 5 great sections. The Sky Sun Sect, Sky Moon Sect, and Sky Star Sect all belonged to the Sky Sect. However, at this moment, they were extremely miserable. The sect leaders of the 5 great sects had been killed. The elites they had brought with them had all fallen. There weren't many powerhouses left. Although they had a strong foundation, they were much weaker than the other clans and sections. This time, Great Emperor Zi Luo had taken some of their powerhouses with him. Only a few young disciples were left behind. There were also some old men who had reached the end of their lives. At this moment, an old man with white hair was gathering the young disciples. He wanted them to work hard and cultivate. This time, the Sky Sun sect has suffered heavy losses. Even the sect leader has fallen. Remember, your enemy is a man called Lin Wudi. You must work hard and take revenge for the sect leader in the future.
Yes.
The young disciples clenched their fists. At this moment, a sword light streaked across the sky. Then, a voice was heard.
Why?
Are you still thinking about revenge? As soon as the voice was heard, the people of the Sky Sun sect all turned their heads. When the old men saw the figure descending, their scalps went numb. They almost knelt on the ground in fear. The white-haired old man exclaimed. He stretched out his hand, trembling. You are. He was so scared that he couldn't speak.
Who are you?
A bright man among the young disciples walked out. Although he was young, he was handsome and had an extraordinary temperament. His name was Tiancheng. Was he one of the stronger ones? He asked in a deep voice.
Who are you?
Lin Xian smiled. He said, I am the Lin Wudi you are talking about.
What?
Lin Wudi? Tiancheng's pupils constricted. The others were also in an uproar. Just now, the elder said that their enemy was Lin Wudi. They didn't expect him to come again. Lin Wudi, go to hell. At this moment, a figure rushed out from among the old men. This person was withered like a skeleton. A killing sword appeared in his hand and cut through the void. It erupted with an extremely terrifying power. However, in the face of such an attack, Lin Xian only slapped him. Like swatting a fly, he killed him in the void. How dare you attack me? It seems that the lesson I taught you previously wasn't enough. When the others saw this scene, they all sucked in a cold breath. The young disciples were terrified. Although the old man who attacked didn't have much lifespan left, he was still a quasi-emperor after all. Was he going to die like a fly just like that? Was the other party already so powerful? The white-haired old man who took the lead was also trembling. He said in horror, Lin Wudi, what are you trying to do? Are you here for revenge? Chapter 58-79. Lin Xian looked at the people in front of him and said in a low voice, Now, I'll give you two choices, surrender or die. What? The strong men's faces changed when they heard that. Surrender? Are you kidding me? The white-haired elder said, We've already surrendered to Higan. Are you trying to steal people from Higan? Can you defeat Higan? Lin Xian scoffed and curled his lips into a smile. I don't know if I can defeat Higan. But I know that if you refuse, you'll go to hell now. Make your choice. You have 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Wait, you. Those people were so angry that they vomited blood. 3 seconds was enough for them to think. Their brains hadn't reacted yet. Lin Xian said, Time's up. Tell me your choice. Humph, you want us to surrender to you?
Dream on.
Suddenly, someone sneered in disdain. Very well. Lin Xian waved his hand, and a sword energy cut the man in half. Who else is not convinced?
Come out.
I'm not convinced. More than a dozen figures stood up, but they were all killed by Lin Xian with one slap. Who else? Lin Xian's voice was still calm, but the surroundings were filled with a sea of blood. This time, the air was a little quiet. Everyone was frightened. This guy was killing them like cutting vegetables. It was even easier than pinching an ant to death. This was a complete one-sided beating.
Damn it.
Many people's teeth were about to be broken. Lin Xian said, This is the last time. I don't have much patience. The white-haired elder took a deep breath and said, Lin Gongzi, you should know that the Heavenly Sun sect belongs to Higan. Although Higan doesn't have time to deal with us now, it doesn't mean that it won't attack us in the future. Even if you make us surrender now, we'll be attacked by Higan in the future.
Why don't you leave now?
I can pretend that nothing happened. Lin Xian smiled. Don't threaten me with Higan. One day, I'll flatten Higan. So, what's your choice? Flatten Higan? The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. There were also some elders who sneered in disdain. Ignorant young man, you have no idea what Higan represents. Lin Xian, on the other hand, brandished his sword Qi and killed all of the older generation experts. You don't know what my name, Lin Wudi, represents. I am invincible. The others all knelt down. The other party was too powerful, decisive, and merciless. The white-haired elder could only lower his head. He said, Stop, Lin Gongzi. We are willing to submit.
Elder.
Those young disciples shouted. They were unwilling to accept this. However, the white-haired elder said, Now, I'm in charge of the Heavenly Sun clan. I have the final say. Submit to me. After saying that, he took the lead and knelt down. The others were all in despair. Did their Heavenly Sun sect have to kneel to the other party? Lin Xian stood there with a cold expression. He sneered in his heart as he watched the scene unfold. He naturally knew that these people were not willing to submit to him. But so what? He had no intention of sincerely letting these people join the Divine Union. The only reason he had recruited these people was to attack the Azure Land. The old elder said, Don't tell me you won't listen to me. The other elders also took the lead and sighed.
Kneel.
They all knelt down. They knew that it was useless to resist now. Their powerhouses had already gone to the Azure Land. When their powerhouses returned, it would be time for them to counterattack. Even the elder had taken the lead and knelt down. The others had no choice but to follow suit. Very well. Lin Xian smiled. From now on, I will be the leader of the Heavenly Sun sect. Lin Xian roared, and the Heavenly Sun sect shook. He formed a seal with his palms and sent a message to the Crimson Dragon, asking him to take over the Heavenly Sun sect. Lin Xian said, "Follow me to the Heavenly Moon sect." The white-haired elder and the others were shocked. However, they didn't dare say anything. Next, they headed to the Heavenly Music sect. The people of the Heavenly Moon sect were naturally unwilling to submit. In the end, Lin Xian made a move. With one palm strike, hundreds and thousands of experts died. The Heavenly Moon sect was terrified and helpless. They could only submit. Next were the Sky Star sect, the Heavenly Strategy sect, and the Sky Fire sect. In the end, the 5 great sects all submitted to Lin Xian. The Crimson Dragon led the dragon race over and began to take over the 5 great sections. He took their resources and spirit veins. The hearts of the people of the 5 great sects were bleeding, but they didn't dare resist. Lin Xian said, "How much do you know about the Azure Land?" The 5 elders of the 5 great sects walked over and said, "We don't know much either. However, we know that the one who took our powerhouses away was Emperor Ziluo. He is the true master of the Purple Mansion." The Purple Mansion? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes when he heard this. He wasn't unfamiliar with this name. When he was on the Hidden Emperor Star, he didn't have any dealings with him. They were mortal enemies. Now, the true master of the Purple Mansion had appeared. Emperor Ziluo was indeed from the other world. He snorted coldly. There's no need for the Purple Mansion to exist anymore. His next goal was to destroy the Violet Palace realm. Hearing this, the faces of the people of the 5 great sects changed drastically. "No, Lin Gongzi," the white-haired elder said, "the Purple Mansion is very powerful. Even if Emperor Ziluo doesn't make a move, there are countless experts in his sect. Many of them are people who have awakened from ancient slumber. They have mastered thousands of cultivation methods. It's very terrifying. Yes, it's unwise to attack him. We've given you the resources you want. Don't attack him anymore." Lin Xian sneered. "What do you ants know? Is the Purple Mansion very powerful?" "In my opinion, it's just SOSO. Let's go. There's no need for the Purple Mansion to exist anymore." Lin Xian rose into the air and quickly left with the people of the 5 great sections. The Crimson Dragon and the others of the Dragon Clan stayed and continued to collect resources. In the depths of the deity ground, there was a storm. The people of the Purple Mansion were also responsible for collecting resources. At the same time, they were also investigating Lin Xian's situation. However, they encountered another kind of trouble. Otherwise, they should have known about Lin Xian's actions. Their trouble was that they encountered the Heavenly Court. The people of the Heavenly Court also came. Led by Black Mountain, countless experts of the Heavenly Court gathered. Among them, the North Demon was also there. As soon as they met the Purple Mansion, several battles broke out. The people of the Purple Mansion gritted their teeth. Hurry up and mobilize forces. This time, they were going to completely destroy the Heavenly Court. The outbreak of the battle was extremely terrifying. This time, the Purple Mansion gathered 3 big families to attack the Heavenly Court together. This made the Heavenly Court suppressed. Not only that, the Purple Mansion mobilized 7 more sects and was on the way. Together, they were the 10 great sections. This time, their strength was even more terrifying. It seemed that the Purple Mansion wanted to completely destroy the Nirvana Heavenly Court. The Heavenly Court was not to be trifled with. After recuperating for so many years, they had also gathered some strength. The Heavenly Soldiers and Heavenly Generals attacked fiercely. Black Mountain swept across the land, and the North Demon also turned into a peerless monster. It was extremely terrifying. The outbreak of the battle was unusually fierce. On this day, on a battlefield in a mountain range, a few people of the Purple Mansion were ambushed by the people of the Heavenly Court and were seriously injured. 3 people escaped. They were covered in blood, and their faces were filled with despair. At this moment, a rumbling sound came from the sky. Countless streams of light streaked across the sky. The 3 injured people looked up at the sky in horror. When they saw that the people who came were from the Heavenly Sun sect, they instantly smiled. Great! The 5 great sects are here. This time, they were confident. Chapter 5880. Great! You are the Heavenly Sun sect, one of the 5 major sections. Come down and help us fight back. Those people from the Heavenly Court are too reckless. This time, I will take revenge. I want them to live a life worse than death. The 3 people showed a hideous smile. In the sky, the strong were like clouds, pressing down and suspending in midair. Their expressions were cold, and many of them looked strange. The 3 injured people frowned.
What?
Don't you listen to orders? We are from the Purple Mansion. However, no one from the 5 major sects moved. Damn it, I'll beat you to death.
One of them was about to attack.
However, at this time, a handsome young man walked out and said in a deep voice, "It's useless. They won't listen to you, because I am their master now, and they respect me as their leader." You're the most respected?
Who are you?
Are you from the Nirvana realm? The 3 injured people were incomparably terrified. In their opinion, only the strong people from the Nirvana realm could have such an arrogant tone. However, the young man shook his head. Nirvana realm? You're wrong. I'm not from the Nirvana realm. Then who are you? My name is Linwoody.
What?
It's you? The 3 injured people's faces changed drastically. How could they not have heard of this name? This was their sworn enemy, but how could he lead the 5 major sects? Damn it, kill him for me. The 3 injured people roared and attacked fiercely. The Dharma rushed out like lightning. However, the people from the 5 major sects did not move. Lin Xian stretched out his hand and shot out a sword chi. The sword slashed down like a vast sea, swallowing the 3 people. After the sword chi disappeared, the 3 people's bodies shattered, and only their souls trembled in the air. Too strong, run. Lin Xian grabbed the 3 people's souls with his big hand. He did not kill them because he wanted to collect their souls. He opened his Rinnegan and collected the 3 people's souls. The 3 people's souls trembled, and finally, Lin Xian used the fire of reincarnation to kill them. Lin Xian's eyes burst with a cold light. Did the Purple Mansion attack the Heavenly Court? You don't know the difference between life and death. Follow me. He took the lead and rushed out. The people from the 5 great sects quickly followed behind him. Actually, they still had hope in their hearts. Once they met up with the Z government's army, they would cooperate with the Z government to kill Linwoody. That was why they followed him. An astonishing battle had broken out in the mountains ahead. At this moment, the battle was nearing its end. Countless corpses, white bones, mountains of corpses, and seas of blood covered the ground. The sky was shattered, a large crack that made one's scalp go numb. At this moment, only a dozen figures were left standing. Among them, 10 of them were like gods and demons surrounding 2 people. These 2 people were a man and a woman. They were extremely young, and their bodies were covered in blood. The man said in a deep voice, "The 10 of you can be considered as masters who have been famous for a long time. Do you dare to challenge me one-on-one?"
Haha.
Hearing this, the 10 people laughed. You're the North Demon of the Heavenly Court, right? I have to say, you're really a genius. It's not easy for you to last until now. However, you've killed too many of us. We won't allow you to live. As for a one-on-one duel, stop dreaming. We won't give you a chance.
Damn it.
The North Demon gritted his teeth. There was a beautiful woman beside him. At this moment, she was also injured. She said, "North Demon, what should we do?" The North Demon said, "I'll find an opportunity to stop them later. You take the opportunity to escape." "No, I want to be with you." The beautiful woman shook her head. The North Demon said, "Don't be silly. In this situation, it's already very lucky that one of us can survive." Their feelings were really deep. After hearing this, the 10 masters around them laughed. "Do you think you can create an opportunity? I'll let the two of you be a pair of lovebirds."
Attack.
With an angry roar, an extremely terrifying killing intent erupted from the 10 masters. Endless laws soared into the sky. The great Tao rumbled, as if the gods were attacking. After one attack, the North Demon spat out blood and flew backward. His body enlarged, turning into a divine tree that stood tall between heaven and earth. On the tree, there were terrifying demon god flowers blooming and spinning. However, even so, it was still pierced through. Countless tree trunks fell, and the demon god flowers were also shattered and withered. The North Demon spat out a mouthful of blood. The beautiful woman was in despair. "What a strong vitality. Your bloodline is really extraordinary." After seeing this, the 10 masters were also surprised. However, it was over. The man in the lead was wearing golden armor and holding a battle sword in his hand. He was extraordinarily mighty. At his command, the others cooperated with him to attack.
No.
The North Demon was in despair. The beautiful woman also closed her eyes. They couldn't resist this attack at all. However, at this moment, an earth-shattering sound came from the distance. It was as if a sun had landed in this place. Terrifying divine fire swept across all directions, and an earth-shattering battle broke out. After one attack, the sun slowly disappeared. The beautiful woman opened her eyes and looked surprised. "I'm not dead. Someone is saving them." The North Demon was excited. "The fire of the sun. Is it him? Is he here? Who is it?" The 10 masters also frowned. "Who dares to interfere with our business?" They looked into the distance, only to see that there were as many experts as the clouds, flying over at high speed. "Are they from the Heavenly Sun sect and the Heavenly Moon sect? You want to stop us?" The 10 powerhouses furrowed their brows tightly. The elders of the Heavenly Sun sect were shocked. These are the 10 masters. They are very famous people among the 10 great sections. These 10 people were all wearing golden armor and were known as the Gold Masters. Their strength was very terrifying. The elder of the Heavenly Moon sect said, "Should we cooperate?" The elder of the Heavenly Sun sect shook his head. "Let's wait and see." He still felt that he was not very confident. Although he believed that the 10 masters were unparalleled when they joined forces, Lin Wudi was too strong. After all, Lin Wudi was too strong, so he was prepared to wait a little longer. The difference in strength between the two sides was too great. The 10 masters snorted and wanted to question the people of the Heavenly Sun sect. However, at this moment, Lin Xian walked out. He ignored the 10 masters and looked at the North Demon. He said, "Good brother, long time no see. It's really you." The North Demon also smiled. He knew that they were safe this time. "Who are you?" The man with the golden battle sword asked with a frown. "You are from the Purple Mansion." Lin Xian turned his head and stared at these people. The North Demon said, "They were gathered by the Purple Mansion. The 10 Gold Masters are very strong. Be careful." Lin Xian said, "There are only 10 people. It's not enough." How bold. The 10 masters were angry. Not enough? Were they being looked down upon? They really didn't know what was good for them. They looked at the people of the Heavenly Sun sect. "This is your disciple. Why don't you kneel down?" The people of the Heavenly Sun sect smiled bitterly. Lin Xian said, "I am their master. Now they are my sect. You don't know what's good for you." One of them, who was wearing golden battle armor, walked out. He was holding a golden battle sword in his hand. "Boy, let me end you." He slashed out, and the golden light enveloped the world. The 5 great sects in the distance once again had hope. Could this move kill Lin Wudi? Chapter 58-81. With a thunderous sound, the golden saber slashed at Lin Xian. golden light burst out, and the saber light swept across the area. The beautiful woman's face changed when she saw this scene. Oh no, such an attack will definitely cut him in half. Humph, you can't even withstand a single blow. The strong man with the long saber sneered. You're too weak. At this moment, Lin Xian's voice came from the golden light in front of him. The next moment, a big hand grabbed the long saber. He didn't die. The man with the saber narrowed his eyes. The beautiful woman was also stunned. Lin Xian threw a punch. His fist was like the sun, streaking across the void.
Boom.
The man with the golden saber spat out blood and flew backward. Half of his body was shattered. He was stunned. Who is this? Lin Xian snorted. You're too weak. With another punch, he killed the man with the golden saber. The other 9 people gasped. The people of the 5 major sects were also shocked. You're courting death. The 9 people roared. Kneel down. Who are you? Tell us your name. Lin Xian sneered. Unparalleled divine fire erupted from his body, and he rushed over like a sun god. Seeing this scene, the beautiful woman said, North Demon, let's go and help him. However, the North Demon said, No, Meng Dai, just watch. He doesn't need our help. He doesn't need it? Meng Dai was also stunned. At this moment, Lin Xian had already arrived among the 9 people. The 9 people also roared. Lin Xian's palm completely enveloped the 9 of them. What did he mean? Was he going to challenge the 9 masters by himself? Was he kidding? The 9 people roared, Kill. The golden armor on their bodies burst out with unparalleled brilliance. The weapons in each of their hands were different, but they were all murderous. The 9 people were extremely powerful and could definitely sweep away everything. However, Lin Xian was like a god of war, sweeping in all directions with his fists. The weapons kept shaking from the impact. In an instant, someone's arm was shattered, and he screamed and flew backward. Damn it, the sword chi was like an ocean. The man with the golden saber roared. The sword chi surged over like an ocean. Lin Xian formed a seal with his palms, and the Taiji diagram flew out. Sword chi transformed into yin and yang. The yin and yang sword chi split the sea apart. The golden armor was split into 2 halves. Another great expert fell with his eyes wide open.
Who are you? Who are you?
The others roared crazily. They had all gone mad. Lin Xian snorted. I am Lin Wudi.
What?
You are Lin Wudi. Damn it, it's actually you. These people were incomparably terrified. They didn't expect it to be this guy. After all, this was a legendary killing god. Damn it, catch him, don't let him go. The remaining people roared madly. As for Lin Xian, the more he fought, the braver he became. The golden flames on his body were completely unleashed, and the seed of divine fire was condensed. Every punch of the 9 suns' divine fist caused the universe to shatter. Boom boom, not long after, the 3 of them were killed. At this moment, lightning intertwined in the sky, and golden lightning charged over. Lin Xian laughed and spat out sword chi. His sword pierced through heaven and earth. After a few sword strikes, the entire world fell silent. Lin Xian stood in the sky. Endless cracks spread under his feet. The 10 great experts opposite him had already fallen. Were they dead? The people from the 5 great sects were shocked. Meng Dai also sucked in a breath of cold air, her beautiful eyes widening. Was he the legendary Invincible Lin? He was so powerful. The people from the 5 great sects went crazy. Fortunately, they didn't cooperate with the 10 great experts to attack. Otherwise, they would have been sent to hell by now. After killing the 10 great experts, Lin Xian turned to look at the North Demon. He took the 10 great experts' storage rings. The power inside enveloped the North Demon and Meng Dai. The injuries on their bodies quickly recovered. The North Demon said that he had to hurry and help his master. This time, the Purple Mansion sect had gathered the 10 great sections. These 10 great experts were just some of them. In addition, there were many experts who were besieging the heavenly court. After hearing this, Lin Xian nodded and said, "There's no time to lose." Let's go. Come here. He waved his hand, and the people from the 5 great sects came over obediently. This is? The North Demon was stunned. Mengdai was also surprised. Lin Xian said, the Heavenly Martial Sect. It's a sect on the other side, but I've already subdued it. The North Demon was shocked when he heard this. He frowned. Did you really submit without controlling their souls? Lin Xian said, no need. Who dares to go against me? They probably knew what would happen to them, right? Lin Xian turned his head and glanced at the 5 great sections. The people from the 5 great sects trembled in fear and quickly shook their heads. No, we don't dare. Then Lin Xian and the North Demon set off and flew deeper into the heavenly court. Along the way, they kept meeting people from the 10 great sections. They were all killed by Lin Xian. They were so powerful that the news of what had happened here had spread far and wide. For a moment, the people in the depths of the deity ground were shocked. What kind of master had come from the heavenly court? He was too powerful. Some sects hadn't joined in yet. They began to gather information. This person was very powerful. He was decisive and ruthless. The heavenly court was also very ancient. It might be a mysterious master who had awakened from his sleep. I think so too. This time, I wonder who will win and who will lose? No matter how strong the heavenly court was, they couldn't defeat the Purple Mansion sect. After all, this was the territory of the Purple Mansion sect. The Purple Mansion sect could summon more sects at any time. Even the Otherworld Heavenly King might send more masters over. It would be difficult for the Heavenly Court to stop them. Yes, the Heavenly Court would be destroyed in the end. Countless people shook their heads. While these people were talking, Lin Xian had already swept all the sects and came to a valley. In front of the valley, there was a huge golden sword standing there. The valley was so big that one couldn't see the end of it. This was the place where the Golden Sword sect, one of the 10 great sects, was located. Lin Xian made a move to remove the firewood from under the cauldron. He was very fast. He wanted to destroy the foundation of the 10 great sects with extreme speed and power.
Who is it?
Stop. A cold voice came from the front of the Golden Sword sect. However, it was useless. Lin Xian led the 5 great sects and rushed in. Did he want to die? The guards wanted to roar. However, when they saw the overwhelming number of masters, they were stunned and turned to run.
Boom.
In the next moment, a big golden hand fell with the divine fire of the sun and destroyed them. Not only that, the mountain gate of the valley was also shattered. The people inside were shocked. Enemies were attacking? Were they from the heavenly court? They were courting death. Get out of here. These people rushed over in an instant. They attacked with the golden sword chi. It formed a storm that filled the sky. However, it was split by Lin Xian's sword. Lin Xian held the immortal slaying sword and said in a deep voice, 5 great sects, it's time to show your power. Charge. The people of the 5 great sects had no choice but to charge over with their people. However, Lin Xian didn't just stand there and watch. He was racing against time, so he also attacked. Like a sword god, he cut through everything. The people of the Golden Sword sect went crazy in an instant. Did a god descend on their sect?
How could it be so terrifying? Stop.
We are the Golden Sword sect, and we belong to the heavenly court. Who are you? Offending us is the same as offending the heavenly court. Stop immediately. Chapter 5882. Before the angry roars could fade away, the bodies of several people had already split open. With a boom, the mountain gate was split into 2 halves. Lin Xian walked in with his men. The people of the Golden Sword sect roared and attacked crazily. Countless experts charged towards Lin Xian. The laws in the sky swept through the world like a storm. You dare to behave atrociously in our sect? Go to hell. Ants, go to hell. The people of the Golden Sword sect looked ferocious. All the attacks in the sky landed on Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian's body swayed slightly. Then he raised his palm and clenched it into a fist. He threw out a punch, and it was like an explosion of the sun. The people around him split apart under this power. Blood turned into a sea of blood. Screams rose one after another. Impossible. He was not injured. The people around him went crazy. There were at least tens of thousands of experts attacking together. How terrifying was that attack? However, they could not break through the other party's defense. Instead, the other party turned tens of thousands of experts into a bloody mist with one punch. What kind of power was this?
Boom.
Lin Xian attacked again. His fist pierced through the world. The void of the Golden Sword sect continued to shatter. All the cultivators in the void were torn apart. They were desperate. This was a heaven-defying power. It was far beyond them. Killing them was as easy as killing ants. Not long after, the Golden Sword sect was suppressed. Lin Xian looked at the huge golden sword and smashed it into pieces with one punch. Stop, we are willing to submit. The remaining warriors of the Golden Sword sect knelt on the ground. Lin Xian's eyes erupted with the power of reincarnation. He used Rinnegan. He controlled the souls of these people. Next, the Golden Saber sect and the Golden Hammer sect. 3 golden sects were taken down in a row. They were all controlled. These martial artists followed behind Lin Xian in a mighty formation, forming a terrifying storm. They continued to set off. Lin Xian would not let any of the 10 golden sects go. However, when he arrived at the Golden Fan sect, Lin Xian furrowed his brows because he realized that the person inside had already disappeared. The people from the 5 great sects were terrified. Were there no more? Lin Xian's lips curled up. I understand now. They must have gotten the news. Are they trying to escape? Lin Xian took out the heaven-swallowing pot and enveloped the entire Golden Fan door. All the energy inside was swallowed by him. The next few sects were also emptied of people. Lin Xian sneered. After devouring these sects, he continued on his journey. When they reached the last sect, Lin Xian discovered that the people who had escaped had gathered together. They wanted to gather all their strength and fight back. No matter who you are, you will definitely die. Those people roared crazily and quickly rushed out. Lin Xian took out the immortal slaying sword and slashed forward. It contained an indestructible power and a terrifying killing intent. Wherever it passed, the void would turn black. A vacuum appeared in the entire world. The experts that should have been there had long since disappeared. The surrounding people were all stunned. Their faces were filled with horror. With one sword, those people disappeared. Not even a drop of blood was left.
It was too terrifying.
Lin Xian's gaze was cold. He attacked again.
2 more strikes.
The people in 2 places were completely turned into nothingness. Everyone's scalps went numb. What kind of strength was this? It had already surpassed a quasi-emperor. Could it be that a great emperor had come to wipe them out? Countless people screamed in despair. They begged the Permitha realm to help. They knelt in the void and kept shouting. In their eyes, the Permitha realm was a high and mighty immortal who could protect them. But this time, it seemed to be useless. The people of the Permitha realm did not come out. Lin Xian walked over step by step.
No, no, no.
Don't attack. We are willing to submit. Those people roared crazily. This strength was too strong. They had gathered the strength of 7 sects and were ready to launch a peerless attack. However, it was destroyed by a sword. Their confidence and courage were completely shattered by this sword. Lin Xian used his Rinnegan to control these people. This process was not difficult because these people no longer had the heart to resist.
So it was easier to control them.
In the next moment, he snorted coldly and the power of reincarnation erupted. The people of the other sects all stood up. There was boundless killing intent on their bodies. Lin Xian said, "Go, follow me." He soared into the sky. At this moment, the people of the 5 major sects were shocked. The 10 golden sects were all controlled. Including the 5 sects, there were people from 15 sections. This was a transcendent power. Perhaps only the power of the Permitha realm could resist it. No one else could. Unless a great emperor appeared. Now, where was Lin Xian going with this power? The answer was obvious. In the ancient city. In a city deep in the deity ground. At this moment, there was a battle in the city. A woman was surrounded by the great Tao, as if she was the incarnation of the great Tao. It was extremely magical. Every dharma on her body was enviable. However, there were dozens of figures chasing after him. The leader was a woman in a colorful dress. She sneered. It's useless. You can't escape. Obediently submit to the Pramitha realm, and you can live. Otherwise, we'll sever your soul and let others take your body. Your born Taoism aptitude will eventually belong to us. Humph. Zhong Lingxiu snorted coldly after hearing that. He attacked forcefully, sending a few people who were close to him flying. Those people's bodies were penetrated. However, the woman in the colorful dress behind him kept nodding. As expected of a born Taoism aptitude, he could fight against 5 people of the same level. He was definitely a genius. However, it's a pity that your opponent is us. The people of the Pramitha realm have never failed, let alone you. Back then, even the great emperor had to submit to us. So, you should obediently submit to us. Zhong Lingxiu snorted coldly. There was an extremely terrifying light in her eyes that flickered. You killed all the people of the Tao One sect. How can I submit to you? She thought of what happened before. Zhong Lingxiu was trembling with anger. She had a born Taoism aptitude. After entering the deity ground and obtaining an opportunity, her strength improved by leaps and bounds. This made the people of the Tao One sect happy. It was very likely that she would become a great emperor. Even if she couldn't, she would still be a super expert below the great emperor. This made the people of the Tao One sect happy. However, it was a golden age now. The people of the Pramitha realm had arrived. They wanted to control the world. Therefore, they started to crazily collect resources and geniuses. Naturally, they had their eyes on those with born Taoism aptitude. They wanted to subdue and suppress them. Zhong Lingxiu was naturally unwilling. The people of the Tao One sect resisted and were mercilessly killed in the end. Zhong Lingxiu escaped here under the protection of a few experts. However, the experts who protected her along the way were all killed by the Pramitha realm. None of them survived. She was the only one left. Was she going to be suppressed now? The Pramitha realm is too arrogant. Do you really think you're invincible? You're right. The Pramitha realm is invincible. When facing us, you either submit or suffer a fate worse than death. Chapter 5883. The Otherworld Heavenly King is invincible. Are you sure? At that instant, a cold laugh could be heard. Who is it? Kai roared. Who dares to question the Otherworld Heavenly King?
Come out. Boom.
As soon as his voice fell, a murderous intent emerged, causing the void to tremble. Sai's body was instantly torn into pieces. He didn't even have time to scream before he died. The others gasped when they saw the scene, as if they were facing a formidable enemy. Who is it? Who is it? Zhong Lingxiu's pupils shrank. She didn't expect that the situation of certain death would change. A glimmer of hope appeared in her eyes. In the next moment, a dark figure emerged in the void. As soon as this figure appeared, it swept across the heaven and earth, and a terrifying demonic aura surged to the 9 heavens. Is he from the demon clan? The pupils of the Otherworld Heavenly King shrank. They felt their hair stand on end. This aura was really too powerful. Are you the demon emperor? They were terrified. This was the aura of a great emperor. The great emperor of the demon clan. If he wasn't the demon emperor, who could he be? The demon emperor didn't care about these people at all. He looked at Zhong Lingxiu. He said, I can save you. Really?
Thank you, senior.
Zhong Lingxiu was excited. Although she was a top genius with an innate body, the people of the Otherworld Heavenly King were really too strong. They could sweep away all the people of the same level. It was not easy for her to fight until now. Become my subordinate, and let me control you, and I will save you." The demon emperor's voice sounded again. Zhong Lingxiu was stunned when she heard it. The light in her eyes disappeared. To be controlled by the other party? She was unwilling. She didn't want to join the Otherworld Heavenly King before, because she didn't want to be controlled by the Otherworld Heavenly King. Now, the Demon Emperor's approach was very similar to the Otherworld Heavenly King. How could she be willing?
Why?
Are you unwilling? The Demon Emperor laughed. I am different from the Otherworld Heavenly King. I won't control your freedom. I just need you to do something for me. Nod your head. As long as you nod your head, I can kill these ants with a wave of my hand. The Demon Emperor's voice carried endless power. The people of the Otherworld Heavenly King were scared. They didn't even have the ability to escape now. I refuse. Zhong Lingxiu shook her head frantically. She didn't want to be controlled by others. If that happened, her life would be bleak. What a pity. The Demon Emperor sneered. In that case, I can't save you. The people on the other side of the river went crazy. Are we not going to save them? A middle-aged man sucked in a breath of cold air. He had long heard from a great emperor that the Demon Emperor acted without any scruples. Furthermore, he was eccentric and reclusive. One would never be able to guess what he would do next. Thus, it was understandable that he didn't save them now. He was overjoyed. From the looks of it, if they didn't say anything and just stayed there quietly, they wouldn't be able to do anything. Perhaps he could still leave this place alive. If you don't save him, I will. At this moment, a piercingly cold voice came from the sky. Then, a figure descended. This person was different from the Devil Emperor. The Devil Emperor was pitch black, like a devil. This figure was surrounded by a golden light. He was like the sun war god. Lin Xian, you're here too? Zhong Lingxiu was surprised. It had been a long time since she last saw him. However, she had heard all kinds of legends about him. Now that Lin Xian was here, she had hope again. She said, "Be careful. The people on the other side of the river are very scary. This great emperor is even more terrifying." Was Lin Xian Lin Wudi? The people on the other side of the river were shocked. They didn't expect to meet a legendary genius again. A legendary great emperor and a legendary genius. The two of them confronted each other just like that. The Devil Emperor smiled and said, "Little guy, you've grown quite fast. We meet again." They knew each other. The people on the other side of the river were shocked. They were terrified. Even Zhong Lingxiu was stunned. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He said, "The born Taoism aptitude is the seed of hope for the future. You don't even want to save this. What do you want to do? Do you want to go against the other side of the river?" Lin Xian was furious. The Devil Emperor laughed. "Do I need to explain to you what I do in my life? Not to mention you. Even this world doesn't understand me." At this moment, the Devil Emperor was arrogant to the extreme. The boundless power of the earth swept across all directions. Even so, his body was as black as ink. No one could see what he looked like. He was so strong. Zhong Lingxiu was suppressed and couldn't breathe. The other people on the other side of the river knelt on the ground in horror. Endless cracks appeared on their bodies. Lin Xian snorted and took out the sky-swallowing jar. It swallowed the power of the great emperor. He said, "Do you want to feel the power of the complete sky-swallowing jar?" Lin Xian was not afraid of the Devil Emperor. He was confident that he could fight him. The complete sky-swallowing jar? The Devil Emperor was surprised and looked forward. "I didn't expect you to be able to complete the sky-swallowing jar again. It's really unexpected." It was true. After all these years, the sky-swallowing jar was still there. Where did that girl's sky-swallowing jar go? The Demon Emperor let out a sigh for no reason, causing everyone to be stunned. Even Lin Xian was stunned. That girl's sky-swallowing jar really dares to say that. The sky-swallowing great emperor was a peerless, ruthless person. It was said that he had swallowed the world and made an enemy of all worlds. Now, the Devil Emperor called her a girl. Perhaps only the Devil Emperor, who had no scruples, dared to call her a girl. Forget it. For the sake of the sky-swallowing jar, I won't make a move this time. Little guy, don't provoke me again next time because you will end up miserable if you become my enemy." The Devil Emperor sneered and disappeared. Is he gone? Zhong Lingxiu breathed a sigh of relief. So, did the people on the other side of the river. Let's run. This time, they were really scared out of their wits. Lin Xian sneered. Did I let you escape? Lin Wudi, do you want to die? Don't think that just because you have the sky-swallowing jar, you can't threaten the people on the other side of the river. These people roared. Lin Xian sneered. You're not worthy of my attack. Men, suppress them for me. Lin Xian waved his hand. The ninth heaven broke open, and endless golden light appeared. Billions of creatures stood above the ninth heaven. The dozen or so emperors on the other side of the river went crazy when they saw this scene. What is this? The Golden Sect. How dare you listen to Lin Wudi? Do you want to die? Yes, suppress them. The gold rankers in the sky roared angrily as they charged down from the sky. This scene was like a golden rain falling between heaven and earth. The dozen or so emperors were terrified. Although they were the 9 crowned kings, they couldn't stop so many masters. It didn't take long for them to be drowned out. In the end, they were ruthlessly suppressed. Lin Xian collected their souls and then frowned. It turns out that you're just a bunch of ants. You don't know anything useful. What use do I have for you? He smashed these people into pieces with a single slap. These people were extremely miserable. Zhong Lingxiu saved them and said, Lin Xian, let me deal with these people. Okay. Lin Xian nodded. Okay. Zhong Lingxiu was murderous. You killed the people of the Dao One sect. Today, I want you to pay with your lives. She attacked fiercely. All kinds of Khanate great Dao surged and shrouded the dozen or so emperors. Screams and screams rang out. After a long time, they slowly disappeared. The dozen or so people had long been killed to the point where their bodies and souls were completely destroyed. Zhong Lingxiu fell to the ground and cried bitterly. Her sect was gone. Chapter 58-84. Seeing that Zhong Lingxiu was crying, Lin Xian asked her about it and sighed. It seemed like the Permitha Heavenly King was really despicable. Furthermore, he had already started to make his move. It was no longer like when the deity ground had just descended. When the deity ground had first descended, countless people had rejoiced, as entering the deity ground meant obtaining great opportunities. However, things were different now. When the Permitha Heavenly King made his move, one could only choose to submit or die. Anyone who resisted would be killed. There would probably be a storm that would engulf the myriad realms. The current Dao Yi sect was just the beginning. Lin Xian said, join the Divine Union, and you will no longer be suppressed by the Permitha Heavenly King. Join the Divine Union? Zhong Lingxiu fell silent. To be honest, she had never thought about this before, as she had always been a disciple of the Dao Yi sect. Lin Xian said, actually, you don't have to think too much. The Divine Union is not a sect. It is just an alliance. The Divine Union is made up of countless families and sections. You can represent the Dao Yi sect and join. In the future, you can also establish your own sect and re-establish the Dao Yi sect. Would that be the case? Zhong Lingxiu nodded and said, all right, I am willing to join the Divine Union. Welcome. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. Although Zhong Lingxiu was alone, she had the born Taoism aptitude. Her current state was already incomparably terrifying. One had to know that the dozen Permitha Heavenly Kings who had made their move earlier were all 9 crowned kings. Zhong Lingxiu had been able to resist until now, which was enough to show how heaven-defying her physique was. If it had been Qingcheng or Ryu, they would probably have been the same, unless they used an extreme-grade weapon. Therefore, a Khanate constitution could be said to have a boundless future. Otherwise, the Permitha Heavenly King would not have made a move to snatch it. Don't worry, your revenge will be taken. One day, people will trample the Permitha Heavenly King. Zhong Lingxiu nodded after hearing this. The 10 great golden sects were expressionless, as they had already been controlled. However, the 5 great golden sects gasped. Trample the Permitha Heavenly King? What kind of joke was this? The Permitha Heavenly King was currently dealing with the deity realm and had no mood to care about other things. Once the Permitha Heavenly King was free, it would be a simple matter to destroy the divine union. Of course, they only dared to think about this in their hearts and didn't dare to say it out loud. Lin Xian took out some elixirs and spirit herbs to heal Zhong Lingxiu. At the same time, he waved his hand and said, "Let's go and take care of Zifu." Lin Xian and his men quickly rose into the air and left the city. Fiend Mountain. Countless terrifying mountain ranges spread across the land, baring their fangs and brandishing their claws. The terrain here was extremely dangerous. There was a demon spirit vein below. If a regular quasi-emperor came here, the energy of this spirit vein would kill them. However, at this moment, the atmosphere was even more tense. That was because this was the place where the Heavenly Court and the Violet Palace were going to fight. This time, the Heavenly Court was led by Black Mountain and brought a portion of their strength. There were also many who were sleeping in the golden coffins and had yet to come out. As for the Violet Mansion, it had sent many ancient experts, as well as some sects and clans from the depths of the celestial land. Jiejia's strength was extremely great. Therefore, the Heavenly Court was in danger. The Violet Mansion firmly surrounded the Heavenly Court's people and sneered, "This time, I'll catch all of you in one fell swoop. Let's see if you still dare to be arrogant in the future." The Heavenly Court's people had ugly expressions. Black Mountain's face was also gloomy. They knew that this was going to be a difficult battle, so they were already mentally prepared. Today, even if they were to die on the battlefield, they would not retreat. The battle broke out again. It was earth-shattering. At the same time, Lin Xian and the others in the distance flew quickly. Lin Xian used his Rinnegan. When he felt the terrifying aura in front of him, he suddenly sped up. Then, he waved his hand and used the Cosmos Sword formation. The forest, trees, and mountains in front of him all turned into sword chi and slashed toward the Violet Mansion's people.
Boom, boom.
The sword chi was extremely terrifying. With a terrifying light, it instantly pierced through the Violet Mansion's people. Many Violet Palace realm cultivators screamed as they fell to the ground. The Violet Mansion's people were terrified. "Who is it? How dare you attack us? Damn it!" A handsome man snorted and waved his hand. He directly slapped away the sword chi that filled the sky. He was wearing a purple armor and looked extraordinarily mighty. He looked young, but in fact, he was an old monster who had lived for countless years. After slapping away the sword chi, he looked into the distance and frowned. "Are there reinforcements here? Get out here." In the next moment, he tore open the void. The Violet Mansion's people also turned their heads to look. Then, they saw a figure quickly passing by. It was a handsome man dressed in black. Behind him, a woman quickly followed. She was extremely beautiful and surrounded by the great Tao. She looked like a god. Two young people, but the aura on their bodies was extremely terrifying. The Violet Mansion's people sneered. "Just the two of you? How dare you come here and behave atrociously? Are you tired of living?" Lin Xian ignored these people. He looked at Black Mountain and smiled. "I'm not too late, right, Master?" At this moment, more people came from the distance. It was the North Demon and Meng Dai. When they arrived, they hurriedly shouted. Black Mountain was relieved to see that the North Demon was fine. Then, he looked at Lin Xian and said, "Boy, it's not too late. Let's work together to destroy them." That was exactly what he wanted. Lin Xian nodded. "You guys don't know what's good for you." The man snorted. The Violet Mansion's people also sneered. The number of masters they brought was 10 times that of the Heavenly Court. How could these people compete with them? "Do you think I came here alone? Come out." Lin Xian waved his hand, and the golden light in the sky kept exploding. Then, it turned into tens of thousands of masters standing in the sky. All of them were brimming with killing intent. The golden light connected into one, extremely dazzling. The Violet Mansion's people frowned. The 10 golden sections. The Heavenly Court's people were also stunned. Was this an enemy or a friend? Was this boy reliable? On the Violet Mansion's side, people from the 10 golden sects immediately walked out. He smiled and said, "Great, you came in time.
Take them down."
As soon as he gave the order, the wind and clouds changed. However, none of the 10 sects in the sky took action. The atmosphere was a bit weird. The 10 sect masters were angry. "Are you deaf? Can't you hear my order?"
"Don't shout."
"They won't listen to you, because I'm their new master," Lin Xian said with a smile.
"What?
"Your new masters?" The pupils of the 10 sect masters suddenly shrank. "Damn it! What did you do to my sect?" Countless angry roars came. Lin Xian said, "What did I do? Guess?" He waved his hand, and the masters in golden armor in the sky all knelt on one knee.
"Master. See?
Now you understand what I did." "Damn it! How dare you control their souls?" The sect master of the sword school was angry. The sect master of the saber school was murderous. "Unforgivable. No one can control my sect. You will pay the price." The 10 golden sects were all angry. They came with masters, but they didn't expect that their sect would be controlled by someone. It was unforgivable. The 10 sect masters walked out. They were even more terrifying than the previous 10 masters. They were the real peerless masters. Chapter 58-85. Everyone was shocked. The 10 sect leaders were too powerful. Once they made a move, they swept through everything. At this time, the man in purple armor also flew over. He said, "You're Lin Wudi. I'll give you a chance to submit to Higan. With your talent, you'll be valued even in Higan. You might even have the chance to become a great emperor. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You have to cherish it." "I'm not interested in being Higan's lackey," Lin Xian snorted. "Besides, even without Higan, I can still become a great emperor." The Purple Mansion people were furious. This kid was too arrogant. The man in purple armor shook his head. "I've seen many geniuses. They're all arrogant and unruly. But in the end, they still died under Higan's sword. You won't be an exception. Elder Z, why waste your breath on him? Just take him down." The 10 sects leaders roared. Their killing intent surged, and they wanted to attack. But Elder Z waved his hand and said, "Back off. Let me do it. I want to see what the legendary Lin Wudi is capable of." Lin Xian's name had spread far and wide. The people in the deity land had heard about it too. So Elder Z was curious. How powerful is he? How dare he challenge Higan? "Elder, are you going to do it yourself?" The 10 sects leaders were shocked. They took a deep breath and retreated. "You're dead meat. Elder Z is going to do it himself." "That's right. You'll be killed in 3 moves. At that time, we will break your bones and make you suffer for 100,000 years, never to be reincarnated." The people around laughed coldly. He Shan and the others from the Heavenly Court flew over. He Shan said, "Kid, be careful. This guy isn't ordinary. He must be an ancient expert who revived in this era." "Don't worry.
I can handle it."
Lin Xian nodded. He took a step forward, and a terrifying power swept out in all directions. It was as if he could topple mountains and overturn seas, shocking countless people. The Purple Mansion people were shocked. The 10 sects leaders' pupils shrank. This guy's body is terrifying. No wonder he can control their sections. 9 Yang divine body. Interesting. Elder Z nodded. He stepped into the air. "I hope you won't disappoint me." In the next instant, he made his move. He pointed out with a finger, and immediately, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. A terrifying aura quickly flew over. He arrived in front of Lin Xian in an instant. Lin Xian was also surprised. What a fast speed. However, he wasn't afraid. He threw out a punch and blocked the finger. A rumbling sound rang out, and the finger was knocked back. Lin Xian coldly snorted. "You're only SO. He continued to swing his fist and flew out. His fist was like a sun that bloomed between heaven and earth.
Boom. Boom.
Elder Z did not retreat. Instead, he stood up quietly with Lin Xian. After 10 moves, the two of them were actually evenly matched. This surprised Lin Xian. This person's physique was so strong.
No, it wasn't the physique.
His brows furrowed tightly. It should be said that the other party's armor was very strong, as expected of the 9-yang divine body. Even my purple underworld armor can't do anything to you? Elder Z coldly snorted. However, the show had just begun. He formed a seal with his palms, and the laws on the armor instantly erupted. The power became stronger again. However, Lin Xian didn't dodge at all. He didn't even defend. He quickly made his move. 9-yang divine fist. You even removed your defense? How confident are you? Or do you dare to look down on me? Elder Z coldly snorted and attacked aggressively. Purple lightning fist. The fist wrapped in the armor quickly attacked Lin Xian's physique. Every strike was like a clap of thunder. Lin Xian didn't care. He took the attack while attacking crazily. The battle between the two was like a purple lightning bolt clashing with a golden sun.
Boom. Boom.
In the blink of an eye, thousands of punches had passed. Elder Z's pupils shrank. Your physique hasn't been shattered. Impossible. You've already cultivated the 9-yang divine body to such a high level. However, Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile.
Why?
Are you surprised? I haven't used my full strength yet.
Boom.
After speaking, Lin Xian's physical strength erupted again. He sent his opponent flying with a punch.
See? I'm serious now.
Elder Z retreated and spat out a mouthful of blood. The laws on the place where he was injured had dimmed. Despicable brat, you've angered me. He didn't fight in close combat because he had already experienced Lin Xian's physique strength. However, other than close combat strength, I also have immortal techniques. I'll let you see my ultimate technique. Elder Z waved his sleeve. Countless purple lightning turned into lightning snakes, bearing their fangs and brandishing their claws. They covered the sky and swept over. The lightning on it had a paralyzing effect. Once hit, the body would be paralyzed. No matter how strong you were, you wouldn't be able to use your strength. If 9-Crown King was hit, then he was just waiting for death, at the mercy of others. Is he using his ultimate move? When the people from the Purple Mansion saw this, they all laughed. It seemed that Elder Z was serious. That brat is dead. That's for sure. When he's hit by the lightning, he won't be able to use his strength. When the time comes, we'll torture him to death. The people from the heavenly court sucked in a cold breath. Black Mountain frowned, because previously many of their experts had been hit and their bodies were paralyzed. Some of them hadn't recovered yet. He quickly reminded Lin Xian. Boom boom. 3 million lightning snakes covered the sky and covered Lin Xian, completely piercing through that place. Haha hit. The people from the Purple Mansion laughed. The 5 sects on Lin Xian's side, the people from the Heavenly Sun sect, all became excited. It seemed that they were going to be free. This demon was finally going to die. You can't even take a single blow. I only used one, and you already can't block it? Elder Z had a cold smile on his face as he walked forward. But at this time, his pupils constricted and he retreated. A sword energy shot out from the front, splitting the sky, and the 3 million lightning snakes were all sent flying. Everyone looked forward and sucked in a cold breath. So, a layer of sword energy had appeared on Lin Xian's body. It was extremely sharp and turned into a sword dragon, bearing its fangs and brandishing its claws. It sent all the lightning snakes flying. They were just lightning snakes. How could they compare to a true dragon? Lin Xian snorted coldly. You'll never be able to reach my level. Despicable brat, don't be so arrogant. Elder Z roared and formed a seal with his palm again. Purple lightning appeared in the center of his palm, and it quickly spread to the surroundings. Immortal technique, lightning palm. Not good, quickly dodge. Some experts from the heavenly court cried out in alarm. Previously, they had fought with the other party. The Thunder Palm had once killed 3 Nine-Crown Kings with a single palm strike and had created a total of 5 Nine-Crown Kings. This was a huge killing move. Brat, I've run out of patience. This battle is over. Go to hell. Lightning Palm exploded and slapped over. The speed was extremely fast, and it enveloped Lin Xian in an instant. It slapped towards Lin Xian's heart. This attack was a killing move. Chapter 5886. My lightning is the strongest power in the world.
You will be destroyed by it.
Elder Z sneered. The strongest power? You are really ignorant. The strongest power is the sword.
My sword.
A cold voice came from the broken void in front of him. In the next moment, heaven and earth were broken, and the lightning was torn apart. A sword chi pierced through the clouds.
Boom.
Elder Z was hit by the sword chi. His body was penetrated, and he vomited blood and flew backward. You actually managed to break through my lightning palm with such ease. Elder Z was stunned. His thunder palm was an extremely terrifying immortal technique. It would never be broken so easily. Damn it, I won't lose. So, what if your sword chi is strong? Thunder staff. Elder Z roared, and a staff appeared. Endless lightning surrounded the staff, as if it was the staff of the thunder god. Whoosh. Go to hell. Elder Z held the thunder staff and quickly attacked. Endless lightning gathered, and an extremely terrifying killing intent burst out. Its power was even more terrifying than the thunder palm. In the face of such an attack, Lin Xian took out the immortal killing sword and slashed at it. It's useless, boy. I won't lose to you in terms of weapons. Elder Z sneered, and the speed of the thunder god's staff increased. The two collided with each other, and a thunderous sound was heard. With a crack, the thunder god's staff split from the middle, and Elder Z was cut in half. How is this possible? The people of the Z Mansion exclaimed. The faces of the 10 sect masters also changed drastically. Even the thunder god's staff was cut in half. His sword is too terrifying.
Boom.
Lin Xian attacked again, and it turned into a sea of swords. It shrouded the broken body and turned it into a bloody mist. Elder Z was dead, and the people of the Z Mansion went crazy. The pupils of the 10 sect masters constricted. Damn it, how dare you kill Elder Z? Revenge? They roared angrily and quickly rushed over. Lin Xian sneered. I'm not afraid of you. He also waved his hand, and the golden sect behind him also quickly attacked. In addition to the people of the heavenly court, the two sides fought together. The power was extremely terrifying. The 10 sect leaders quickly charged towards Lin Xian. When the 10 of them attacked together, their power was terrifying to the extreme. You guys are overestimating yourselves. Lin Xian sneered as the divine flame and sword chi exploded from his body. Boundless power swept out in all directions. Boom, in the blink of an eye, 2 patriarchs were sent flying while vomiting mouthfuls of blood. The other few people also felt their scalps go numb. Quick, use your ultimate move. You can't let him continue being arrogant.
Someone said.
The others nodded. The golden light on the bodies of the 10 sect leaders joined together to form a golden sea. A figure appeared from the sea. It was a golden pagoda. The aura above was terrifying. The light that hung down could easily pierce through the universe. Kill with a furious roar, the 10 people controlled the golden pagoda and charged over. Lin Xian brandished the immortal slaying sword and unleashed sword chi. When it struck the surface, it produced a sonorous sound. The heaven and earth in this place were torn apart. The terrifying power made the surrounding people retreat in fear. It's useless. You're no match for us at all. The 10 sect leaders sneered and joined forces to attack with the golden pagoda. Lin Xian shook his head. Killing you guys is as easy as flipping my hand. He waved the heaven and earth ring, which turned into a golden light and directly tore apart the opponent's defense. One of the sect leaders was beaten into a bloody mist and died. In the blink of an eye, one of the sect leaders was dead, leaving only 9 sect leaders. The 9 sect leaders were terrified. They burned their bloodline and attacked like crazy. They must kill him today. Kid, we'll help you. The people of Black Mountain are coming. Lin Xian said, no need. Leave these 10 to me. I'll let them know what despair is.
Despair?
I think you're the one who's in despair. What do you have to fight against our golden pagoda? The 10 sect leaders' bloodline was burned. The golden pagoda completely erupted, as if immortal qi had descended from the immortal realm. Lin Xian snorted coldly. It's just a forbidden weapon. I'll show you what a real weapon is. Lin Xian waved his hand and took out the sky-swallowing jar. A pitch-black vortex swept in all directions and swallowed all the golden light. What's this? The 9 sect leaders' pupils constricted. The power of the extreme Dao and the extreme Dao weapon. Damn it, you have an extreme Dao weapon.
Run.
They were crazy. They didn't expect the other party to have an extreme Dao weapon. How could they escape? The surrounding black vortexes covered the sky and the earth, and all of them rushed over, sealing off their escape route. The 9 sect leaders couldn't escape. They were terrified. You won with an unfair advantage. That's right, don't use an extreme Dao weapon if you have the guts. Hearing this, Lin Xian burst into laughter. An unfair victory? When the 10 of you joined forces to attack me, did you ever think that you won with an unfair advantage? When you burned your bloodline and used the forbidden weapon, did you ever think that you won with an unfair advantage?
Why?
Aren't you competing in strength and trump cards? I took out a more powerful trump card than you. Is that an unfair advantage? Lin Xian sneered. Damn it, let's fight it out with him.
Run.
Although the 9 sect leaders said so, they still chose to escape. They exerted their strength to the extreme, trying to tear open a black vortex. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the sky-swallowing jar flew out. The complete sky-swallowing jar bloomed with mysterious light. The human face on it smiled faintly. With a boom, the sky-swallowing jar opened, and a black blade of light appeared, directly enveloping the 9 sect leaders. In the next moment, the 9 sect leaders' souls were destroyed. No matter how strong they were no match for an extreme Dao weapon. After killing the 9 sect leaders with one move, Lin Xian waved his hand and grabbed the golden pagoda. He erased the soul mark on it with the immortal killing sword. Then he threw it to the golden sect leaders. He said to them, "Attack! Leave no one alive." The people of the Purple Mansion kept roaring. They were all crazy. Elder Z was dead, and so were the 10 sect leaders. They were all top-notch 9-crown kings. Who could resist them now that they had fallen like this? Damn it, retreat, retreat quickly. The Cosmos Sword Formation. Lin Xian turned everything into a sword and sealed the world. Today, he would not allow anyone here to leave.
Ah.
All kinds of screams sounded. The people of the Purple Mansion were desperate. Lin Wudi, you will be punished. Higan will not forgive you. They frantically threatened Lin Xian, but it was useless. Instead, it made Lin Xian attack even faster. In the blink of an eye, most of them were dead. Only a few were left. It seemed that in a few moves he would be able to kill all of them. However, at this moment, an angry shout sounded between heaven and earth. Then, the sky fell and the earth cracked. The Cosmos Sword Formation was mercilessly torn apart. The people of the Golden Sect leaders were also sent flying, and many of them turned into blood mist. Many of the people from the Heavenly Sun Sect had also been reduced to ashes. The people of the Heavenly Court were also affected. At the critical moment, Lin Xian took out the sky-swallowing jar and saved the people of the Heavenly Court. It was terrifying. The North Demon and Meng Dai were shocked. Black Mountain's pupils constricted. The power of a great emperor. A great emperor is coming. The voice of a great emperor caused 15 sects to suffer heavy losses. If Lin Xian didn't have the sky-swallowing jar, all of this would have turned into ashes. He frowned. Is a great emperor coming? The people of the Purple Mansion, who were still alive, were ecstatic. They knelt on the ground. Great Emperor Ziluo. It was Great Emperor Luo. Chapter 5887. A great emperor was an existence that surpassed a great emperor. Nine-crowned king couldn't compare at all. Now that a great emperor had arrived, he would probably sweep everything away. The heavenly court's people were pale. They were in despair. Black Mountain's expression was grave. He said, "Kid, activate the sky-devouring jar together. Let's leave. You've killed so many of my people. Don't you think it's too easy for you to leave now?" A loud voice rang out between heaven and earth. Endless purple clouds filled the air. A middle-aged man walked out. His gaze was like a god's, enveloping the entire space. In an instant, the entire area was suppressed and sealed. How terrifying! We can't even withstand a look from a great emperor. The heavenly court's people were shocked. Emperor Luo snorted and waved his sleeve. The Golden Gate and Sky Sun Gate that had submitted to Lin Xian were all destroyed. The remaining people of the 15 sects were all reduced to ashes. This was the consequence of betraying the otherworld heavenly court. A cold voice rang out. The Purple Mansion's people were so excited that they trembled. "Ha ha ha, Lin Wudi, do you see that? This is the power of the Purple Mansion. This is our Emperor Luo. What do you have to fight against us? Kneel down and accept your death. Not just you, but the entire heavenly court will be destroyed today." They were too proud. "Lin Wudi, kneel down. You're no match for me. Kneel down and wait for me to deal with you. If you're willing to join the otherworld heavenly court and become our slave, you might be able to live." Emperor Luo looked down at Lin Xian from high above. Lin Xian snorted. "So, what if you're a great emperor? It won't be that easy for you to kill me." Lin Xian's eyes flashed with killing intent. "You? How dare you challenge our great emperor?" The Purple Mansion's people were furious. "Kneel down and slap him. He didn't have the right to do that. Reckless thing. Do you think that you can contend against me just because you killed a few nine-crown kings? Do you think you can challenge a true great emperor just because you have an extreme weapon? Today, I'll show you the true power of the earth." Emperor Luo attacked. A palm slapped out, clouds and mists pervading the air. This was immortal energy power, swirling above, far exceeding everything else. The surrounding black vortexes were instantly torn apart. Not good. When the people of the heavenly court saw this scene, all of them fell into despair. There was no way they could withstand such an attack. On the other hand, Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Sword World has been activated." The power within appeared as Lin Xian activated the heaven-swallowing jar. Boom! The black vortex, devouring the heavens and the earth, suddenly exploded and blocked the purple palm. Even the immortal chi above it was blocked. How could this be? The people of the Z Mansion were stunned. Even Great Emperor Luo's face darkened. "I didn't expect you to be able to use an extreme weapon to such an extent. Looks like you have quite a lot of resources on you. However, you're only the nine-crown king. Your resources are not unlimited. Let's see how long you can last." Luodong laughed coldly and waved his hand again. It was like the hand of a celestial being that continued to descend. Every time, it could shatter the heavens. Such an attack swept out in all directions. Everyone in the deity ground knelt down. Who was the great emperor's aura? He had angered a great emperor. The heaven-swallowing jar bobbed up and down, continuously devouring. Lin Xian's face was pale. Indeed, he was still barely holding on. However, Great Dragon also said that that person was not a complete great emperor. He was somewhat similar to the green-robed great emperor. Although his body was complete, half of his soul was missing. Lin Xian paused, then the corners of his mouth rose. "So that's how it is. Not a true great emperor." It seemed that he was weaker than a true great emperor. Lin Xian laughed when he heard this. "What did I say? So you're just a fake great emperor. What did you say?" Luodong was furious. The people of the Z Mansion also roared. "How dare you question our great emperor? Do you want to die?" Lin Xian snorted. How can you be a complete great emperor without half of your soul? Missing a soul? The people of the heavenly court also exclaimed. They didn't know. The people of the Z mansion were also stunned. Great Emperor Z Luo's pupils constricted. Only the other great emperors of the Permitha realm knew this secret. Other than them, no one knew. How did this person in front of him know? He was very puzzled. It seems that I have to catch you and take your soul. You really have a lot of secrets. Great Emperor Z Luo was completely furious. Endless light burst out of his eyes. It formed a purple eye and pressed down from the sky. Even if it's only half of my soul, you can't resist it. Great Emperor Z Luo's voice was extremely cold. Lin Xian roared. Release the Rinnegan. The 6 paths of reincarnation flashed between heaven and earth, but cracks still appeared under the pressure. It couldn't be helped. The soul of half a great emperor was extremely powerful. At this critical moment, Lin Xian roared and summoned the Samsara sword. The power of the 6 paths of reincarnation turned into a summoning. A strange phantom appeared between heaven and earth. A phantom of the Samsara sword appeared and slashed at the purple eye. Only then was it blocked. Boundless power shattered the 8 barren lands. Rinnegan, you even have this thing? You can even summon the Samsara sword? Unfortunately, it's just a phantom. If it were the real Samsara sword, it might be a threat to me. But it's just a phantom. You're too naive. You can't hurt me at all. Great Emperor Z Luo was furious. He took a step forward, and immortal qi erupted from his body. Lin Xian blocked it with the sky-devouring jar. He laughed loudly. I can't kill you, but it's enough to kill your disciples and grand-disciples. The Rinnegan. Another phantom of the Samsara sword slashed down. Those who were still alive in the purple mansion were enveloped. No, they cried out miserably. Save me, Great Emperor.
I don't want to die.
Damn you, Lin Wudi. How dare you? Countless souls were crushed and torn to shreds. Great Emperor Z Luo was stunned. His face darkened. Had he been slapped in the face? He originally thought that this move was meant to attack him. He didn't expect it to be aimed at his subordinates. And it succeeded. This was a vicious slap to his face. Kid, do you know what the consequences of angering a great emperor are? I'll let you experience a fate worse than death.
Boom.
Great Emperor Z Luo's fist punched out, directly shattering the phantom of the Samsara sword. Countless fragments of light scattered between heaven and earth. Lin Xian took a few steps back, his face pale. He didn't use the Rinnegan again. Instead, he took out the immortal slaying sword. As soon as the immortal slaying sword appeared, Great Emperor Z Luo's hair stood on end. The immortal qi on his body rolled violently, as if he was facing a great enemy. What was going on? Great Emperor Z Luo frowned. A sword was enough to make him so frightened.
Ha ha ha.
Lin Xian laughed. This sword had killed immortals before. So it's normal for your immortal qi to be frightened. Killed immortals before? Great Emperor Z Luo's expression changed. Could it be that sword? It's actually in your hands? It seems that I really can't let you live. The immortal qi on his body became even more terrifying. It's just a sword. You can't unleash its true power. Is that so? Lin Xian said, the Samsara sword is a phantom, but the Great Dragon's sword has a sword spirit. I'll let you experience the taste of the Great Dragon Sword. With that, Lin Xian slashed out with the Great Dragon Sword. A dragon's roar reverberated through the world. Chapter 5888. The power of the Dragon Sword Soul was also displayed. It swept across heaven and earth, and endless dragon roars sounded. Emperor Z Luo's face instantly darkened. Damn it, it's this sword again. This sword had once split open his soul. He couldn't stand it. With a roar, he quickly charged over. Lin Xian crazily waved the dragon sword soul and fought with him. The sky-swallowing jar was used as a defense, while the dragon sword soul attacked. Lin Xian was extremely powerful. He actually exchanged 30 moves with Emperor Ziluo. Then Lin Xian retreated to the back. The corners of his mouth curled up.
See?
I told you, it's impossible for you to kill me. Although I can't kill you now, I'll keep growing. Just you wait, Emperor Ziluo. When I become the 10-crown king, I'll personally send you to hell. As soon as Lin Xian's voice fell, the sky-swallowing jar swallowed the people of the heavenly court and quickly left with them. Damn it, stay here. You think you can? It's impossible for you to become the 10-crown king. Emperor Ziluo roared and chased after him crazily. However, Lin Xian's sword world could provide a lot of power. It completely recovered its extreme weapon. The sky-swallowing jar turned into a stream of light and disappeared. Emperor Ziluo chased after him crazily. At this moment, the people of the deity ground trembled in fear. They thought the end of the world had come. However, Emperor Ziluo didn't catch up with Lin Xian. Lin Xian had already returned to the universe of the myriad heavens. Damn it! Emperor Ziluo wanted to continue searching. However, at this moment, he received a message from the Thunderclap Emperor. We're going to attack the heavenly land. Emperor Ziluo could only leave helplessly. Lin Wuti, just you wait. You're lucky this time. Next time we meet, I'll kill you directly. The cold voice spread throughout the deity ground and the universe. The people of the deity ground were terrified. Is it Lin Wuti again? The people of the universe were desperate. Was Lin Wuti targeted by a great emperor? In the vast universe, Lin Xian and the others came out. Hearing this, Lin Xian snorted coldly. The next time I see you, I'll kill you. Lin Xian clenched his fists. Right now, although he could sweep through 9 Crown King, if he encountered a great emperor, it was still not enough to look at. Last time, killing half of the frog took a lot of planning and planning. No, he had to quickly break through and become the 10-crown king. Lin Xian's eyes erupted with a biting cold radiance. It was extremely difficult to become the 10-crown king. It could be said that out of 100 million 9-crown kings, there might not even be one person who could become a 10-crown king. Even among the great emperors, there were very few who were 10-crown kings. For Lin Xian to become the 10-crown king was indeed as difficult as ascending to the heavens. However, Lin Xian was confident that he could walk the path that others did not know of. At the very least, he now had a path. If he could let the 9-yang divine body reach large success, that was the 10-crown king. Since he did not know of any other methods, Lin Xian decided to try his best to break through to the 9-sun divine body. He asked Black Mountain, "What are you going to do next?" Black Mountain said, "We still have to head to the depths of the deity ground." Lin Xian nodded. "Will it be too dangerous?" "I'm afraid that Great Emperor Ziluo is lying in ambush there." Black Mountain said, "This time, I've already informed the Empress. She will come out to receive us." "That's good." Lin Xian nodded. He said, "Previously, I asked the Divine Union to gather some resources in the universe. This time, I'll send them over together. I'll try to cultivate first. When the time comes, I'll go to the high heavens to find you." After that, Lin Xian returned to the Divine Union and gave the gathered resources to Black Mountain. Then, Black Mountain took those resources and headed to the high heavens. Lin Xian stayed in the Divine Union. He entered the sword world, preparing to find a way to break through to the 9-sun divine body. In the sword world, the toad was still cultivating. It was unknown when it would come out. However, the aura on its body was already very terrifying. It made Lin Xian's hair stand on end. Lin Xian knew that this guy had already surpassed the 9-crown king. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xian went to the other side and recovered his strength. De Long said, "The 9-sun divine body can be used with the divine fire seed. There should be a sun valley in the sword world." The power inside was very terrifying. It was a valley formed after a few suns shattered. Go there to cultivate. Sun Valley? Lin Xian took a deep breath. There was such a magical place in the sword world, as expected of the ancient lands. Next, Lin Xian began to search for the Sun Valley. He finally found it. In a flaming valley, endless sunlight bloomed. Lin Xian's 9-sun divine body actually cracked. What a terrifying flame. It was really formed after the sun shattered. De Long said, "Yes, and there's more than one sun." The great battle back then shattered many worlds. Even the universe was about to shatter. Countless suns fell into this valley. After so many years, one could imagine the flames inside. Lin Xian took a deep breath. It seemed that he had to cultivate outside the valley first. He sat down cross-legged and circulated the 9-sun divine body to absorb the surrounding sun fire. The divine fire seed between his eyebrows was also beating nonstop. Lin Xian began to cultivate just like that. After a few days, Lin Xian moved forward. Although this kind of cultivation speed was very fast, Lin Xian felt that it was not enough. After all, the great battle was imminent. Lin Xian did not want to miss it. This time, he had to help his father, Lord Alcohol, and the others fight against Bian. Lin Xian took out the heaven-swallowing jar and circled around him. He walked towards the Sun Valley. The flames in the Sun Valley were even more terrifying as they transformed into countless suns. They turned into countless suns and crashed over like meteors. The void of the sword world shook. One could imagine how terrifying it was. Lin Xian hurriedly controlled the heaven-swallowing jar and walked carefully. Even so, he was still beaten until his blood was boiling. Finally, Lin Xian entered the valley. He found some fruits in the valley. The divine sun fruit. Lin Xian took 3. He was overjoyed. What terrifying power! At that moment, a terrifying vibration came from the Sun Valley and sent him flying. After Lin Xian came out, he spat out a few mouthfuls of divine blood and his face turned pale. What a terrifying Sun Valley. With my current strength, this is all I can do. Don't know? What's the use of eating the divine sun fruit? Lin Xian took one and swallowed it. After swallowing it, he regretted it. The divine sun fruit had absorbed the power of the sun for countless years. It was absolutely terrifying to the extreme. Lin Xian felt that his internal organs were shattered and his meridians were broken. He roared at the sky. His body was splitting apart as he flew at high speed. Endless flames were leaping about. "Kid, go to the divine spring of life and protect your heart." De Long roared inside. After hearing that, Lin Xian rushed over and went to the ancient tree. He sat on the divine spring of life. An icy aura came from the heavenly spring of life. Lin Xian regained some of his consciousness. In the next moment, he began to activate the divine body of 9 Yang. He absorbed power. After a while, Lin Xian swallowed the second divine sun fruit. He began to cultivate again. While Luo Yunyang was cultivating here, a storm was brewing in the high heavens. On the other side, the 3 great emperors joined forces and led the powerhouses of the deity land to gather resources and began to attack the heavenly land. Not only that, the supremes who came out of the forbidden lands of the universe. Some ancient sleeping great emperors appeared in the heavenly land one after another. The wind was blowing and the clouds were surging. Chapter 58-89. With so many supremes attacking at the same time, they would have destroyed the universe if they were in it. However, the heavenly land was extremely mysterious. It was one of the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Therefore, it was only the void that cracked. Moreover, a mysterious power came from the heavenly land to suppress the attacks of the supremes. The people from the other side attacked an ancient city. They were going to take down another city. Lin Zhan, Lord Alcohol, and the others naturally wouldn't sit back and do nothing. They attacked aggressively, and a great battle broke out. The other 9 heaven supremes and martial monarchs were involved too. Some wanted to take advantage of the chaos, while others wanted to find opportunities in the heavenly land. Only in the 9 heavens and 10 lands could one become an immortal. This was their opportunity. They couldn't miss it. Moreover, with the outbreak of this battle, more and more supremes would awaken from their slumber. They would come to seize the opportunity to become an immortal. Black Mountain and the people from the heavenly court came. The Empress personally came to protect them. The Empress said, "Your strength came at the right time. It's just enough to consolidate your strength. Then let's go and gather more power." Black Mountain and the others quickly left with the heavenly court's people. On this day, the deity ground was shocked. The people in the depths of the deity ground were even more shocked. They saw a pitch-black sword devouring the sky and slashing into the distance. On the other side, there were countless purple clouds that were about to cover the entire universe. In another place, a few extreme weapons shone brightly. Terrifying 8 trigrams shrouded the world. Lightning pierced through the 9 heavens and swept across the world like a heavenly tribulation. Endless white bones, terrifying underworld, and the gates of hell seemed to have opened. There was also the power of indestructibility, soul control, and various other methods. Everyone saw immortal chi dancing in the distance, and divine fire jumping between heaven and earth. This was a true battle between supremes. It was a battle that surpassed all powers. Gradually, the news of the opportunity to become an immortal and the heavenly land spread. This shocked the people of the deity ground and the other worlds. It turned out that there were immortals above supremes. Was there really a chance to become an immortal? Countless people's eyes turned red.
But soon they sighed.
Even if 9-Crown King went to that kind of place, he would most likely die 9 times out of 10, let alone others. Only the great emperors would be able to protect themselves there. The martial monarch clans were astounded too. However, most of them let out a sigh. Even if they had extreme weapons, it would be very difficult for them to leave safely. From the looks of it, someone had to break through and become a great emperor. Many martial monarch clans placed their hopes on their juniors. For example, Leaf Dao Denier had a god body, which meant that once he became a sage body, he would be able to fight a grand emperor. The other great emperor clans felt awkward. This was because they seemed to have very little hope. Princes and princesses were no longer worthy of his attention. After all, countless great emperors had been revived from the ancient times. The divine union continued to gather strength. Murong Qingcheng, Yan Ruyu, and the others all had their own opportunities. Their strength was also steadily increasing. I wonder how older brother Xian is doing? Inside the sword world, Lin Xian slowly opened his eyes. He stood up and roared towards the sky. The power of the 9-Yang divine body has become stronger again. However, he was still a step away from mastering it.
Fight.
I need to fight. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a piercingly cold radiance. Lin Xian felt that he only needed one life and death battle to break through and become a true sage body. This time, even if there were more than a dozen 9-Crown Kings in the upper heavens, they probably wouldn't be able to give him any pressure. Only existences that surpassed the 9-Crown Kings could. Emperor Si Luo. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a piercing radiance. The other party was a great emperor who lacked half a soul. If he were to be his opponent, he would be the most suitable. Lin Xian prepared to look for him. Lin Xian left the sword world and returned to the divine union. Big brother Xian, you are here. Murong Qingcheng and the others were delighted. Lin Xian took a deep breath when he heard about what had happened. Had the battle already started in the upper heavens? Furthermore, it wasn't just the Prometha factions. Some rogue cultivators had also joined the battle. Of course, they were all above the 9-Crown Kings. There were supremes and great emperors from other eras. It really was the immortal ascension era. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Even the 9-Crown Kings wouldn't be enough. He looked at Murong Qingcheng and the others. He said, "I will take you to a place to search for your opportunities." Murong Qingcheng and the others were delighted. They knew that it should be the sword world. Lin Xian's possession of the sword world wasn't a secret to them. Furthermore, Lin Xian's strength had increased so quickly this time that they were even more curious about the sword world. Of course, the sword world couldn't be open to everyone. Thus, Lin Xian had no choice but to allow the people beside him to enter. The others probably wouldn't be able to withstand that power. This time, he chose Murong Qingcheng, Yan Ruyu, The Crimson Dragon, the Hellfire Dragon, Xueqi, and the others. Xueqi said, "Husband, I have to make a trip to the 9 underworlds." In the previous supreme being Bone, other than possessing great power, there was also a great deal of power. There is also another piece of news. I have to retrieve the item left behind by the previous 9 in divine body. 9 underworlds. Then be careful. Lin Xian's expression was also serious. He gave the lid of the heaven-swallowing jar to the other party. He said, "With half an extreme weapon, it should be enough to protect yourself." "Okay." Xueqi nodded. "I will come back as soon as possible. When the time comes, we will work together." Xueqi left. Lin Xian brought Qingcheng and the others to the sword world. Then he said, "This place is extremely mysterious and has endless opportunities. Find the opportunities that belong to you." These people moved quickly. Lin Xian left. He headed to the heavens.
Boom.
The celestial lands were incomparably dangerous. Those who transported the resources were mainly led by 9 Crown King. Moreover, they only dared to walk outside the heavens. The people inside would come out to receive them. It seemed that 9 Crown King could get close to this place. 9 Crown King didn't even need to think about it. If 9 Crown King didn't care about his life, he could also enter the heavens. However, the chance of him coming out alive was less than 1 in 10,000. Therefore, under normal circumstances, they wouldn't enter. However, on this day, a beam of light pierced through and entered the heavens. Just now, that was 9 Crown King. He actually entered the heavens. Who did he think he was? Did he have a death wish? Humph, stupid thing. If he went in, he would definitely die. The families in the depths of the deity ground sneered. They had seen some 9 Crown Kings before. They relied on their strength or rich experience to not listen to advice. However, they died not long after. This time, they didn't think it would be an exception. After Lin Xian entered, he felt a shocking aura. However, he stayed in the sword world all year round. Therefore, he was able to adapt to the power of the heavens quickly. After landing, he looked at his surroundings. There was a mysterious aura here. It was as if this wasn't a land, but a sky. Suddenly, a stream of light came from the distance. Catch it. There is heaven's water in the clouds for our supremes. Chapter 5890. A group of figures quickly chased after a cloud. Lin Xian looked ahead. 9 Crown King? That's not right. Didn't they say that the 9 Crown King would not come easily? When Xiao Chun entered earlier, this group of people mocked and ridiculed him, not optimistic about his chances. Lin Xian felt suspicious and prepared to go over and ask,
"Who are you?"
"Stop. Scram. We saw this cloud." When these people saw Lin Xian charge over, they thought that he wanted to snatch something and immediately roared. Lin Xian stopped and asked, "How did you 9 Crown Kings get in?" "Brat, we are both 9 Crown Kings, but there are differences." "What clan are you from?" "We are from the Desolate Tomb. We have the supreme token so we can enter." "It looks like you were not brought in by a martial emperor. You barged in on your own, right? A person like you will not live past the next day." Lin Xian understood after a few simple sentences. It turned out that a martial emperor had brought them in. Carrying some of the martial emperor's aura could save one's life. It looked like he could use this method in the future to let the Divine Union, Heavenly Court, and others in. However, that would have to wait until he had the advantage.
It was still too dangerous now.
A small loose cultivator dared to come in and kill. Someone laughed coldly, murderous intent flashing in their eyes. They had more than 29 Crown Kings on their side. They were not afraid of the other party at all. Lin Xian frowned. "You are from the Desolate Tomb?" "That's right. Are you afraid? Kneel down and become our slaves. Or help us scout for danger. That way, you might be able to live a little longer. You really don't know death. Unexpectedly, I met you again." Lin Xian smiled. How could he not know about the Desolate Tomb? Back then, Mount Eternal and the Desolate Tomb worked together to hunt him down. These two were life-restricted lands with supreme beings inside. Lin Xian still did not understand primes. What were they? However, it looked like they surpassed 9 crown kings. How were they compared to martial emperors? Lin Xian asked. Dalong said, primes are like green robes and Ziluo. They are not complete martial emperors. Not a complete great emperor? Lin Xian was surprised. But it shouldn't be called supreme either, because Green Robe and Ziluo both called themselves great emperors. It was different. Dalong said, Green Robe and Ziluo are both injured great emperors. Their strength is not at their peak. But they had immortal qi. However, Jizun was different. Jizun was not injured. Both his soul and body were complete. However, he no longer had the immortal energy and divine flame, because they had scattered the immortal energy and divine flame themselves. Scattered? What did that mean? Lin Xian frowned. In the past, the only way to maintain the cultivation of a grand emperor, or even become an immortal, was to join the Prometha realm. However, if he joined the otherworld Heavenly King, it meant that he had to lower his head and be controlled. Many great emperors were unwilling to do so, so they all went into hibernation. Some slept for tens of thousands of years, while others slept for hundreds of thousands of years, or even millions of years. These people were all in their own seals. However, some of them were unwilling to enter a deep slumber, because when he woke up from his deep slumber, the opportunity to become an immortal might have passed. Therefore, these people were not willing to take the risk. Instead, they adopted an awakened state. However, in an awakened state, they could not maintain their peak strength. They removed the divine flame and immortal qi. These people hid in a place with a super spirit vein, which became a forbidden land for life. They did not allow others to enter and investigate. They would not appear. They would send some people to investigate the opportunity to become an immortal. Once the opportunity to become an immortal came, they would appear. These people were called Jizun. So that was the case. The former great emperor had removed the divine flame and immortal qi. Lin Xian nodded. Understood. His strength should not be as good as a complete great emperor. It was probably about the same as the half-frog that he had killed. Kid, what are you in a daze for? Haven't you thought about it yet? Hurry up and kneel down. We'll give you a chance to live. The 9 crown kings in front sneered. In their opinion, Lin Xian should be thinking. Lin Xian came back to his senses and shook his head slightly. Where is your Huangling's Jizun? Take me to see him? After knowing the Jizun situation and some of his combat strength, Lin Xian felt that he could fight. After all, he had come this time to look for a life and death battle. Only by fighting to the limit could he break through and achieve great success in his body. At that time, he would become the 10 crown king. His combat strength would also increase exponentially. At that time, he would dare to compete with a true great emperor. Kid, at least you know what's good for you. Stand there and wait for us to grab this cloud. When the time comes, we'll go see our spirit Jizun together. Those people thought that Lin Xian was afraid and wanted to submit. They quickly grabbed the cloud. The supreme token on their bodies released an aura, forming an endless law cage that enveloped the cloud. Then, they waved their hands and said, "Follow us." Lin Xian followed behind silently. After flying for 3 days, they finally landed in the middle of a mountain range. There were no trees in this mountain range, only clouds. And the clouds were very light, different from the cloud they had suppressed before. Lin Xian discovered that there was no water in the clouds. It seemed that the heavenly land was very magical. He needed to spend time to understand. There were also many experts in the mountain range. When they saw those people return, they said, "Did you succeed?" He grabbed one, and there was heavenly water inside. "Great, let's go quickly." Who was this person? When they saw Lin Xian, they were stunned. Someone said, "A rogue cultivator wants to come over and submit to our Jizun. Take him over." There was a man in white in front of them. He was incomparably ethereal. The power on his body was very strong. Before he even got close, those 9 crown kings couldn't breathe. Fortunately, they had the supreme token on them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to advance. You wait here. The expert in front said a few words to Lin Xian, and then went up to report. First, he handed over the heavenly water, and then pointed at Lin Xian. When the spirit sovereign looked at Lin Xian, he frowned. It's you. That's right, it's me. It seems that you know me. That's easy. Come and fight me. How bold. Several 9 crown kings roared. How dare you be so arrogant in front of a supreme? Kneel down and slap him. Kid, do you want to die? Lin Xian strode forward. Several 9 crown kings were angry and attacked. In the end, they were all slapped to the ground by Lin Xian. 9 crown kings' body was torn into pieces. The others' expressions changed drastically, and they all rushed over. However, the spirit sovereign in front waved his hand and stopped them. Lin Wuti, I didn't expect you to dare come here. Did you come to walk into a trap?
What?
Lin Wuti, he was Lin Wuti. That arrogant Lin Wuti. The surrounding people exclaimed. They didn't expect that it was the other party who brought Lin Wuti here. Those people were also shocked. At the same time, they were excited. Legend had it that Lin Wuti had countless treasures on him. This time, they had made a great contribution. Are you worthy of submitting to you? Can you defeat me? Lin Xian's disdainful voice sounded. The surrounding people were furious. The spirit sovereign's face also darkened. Ignorant. It seems that you don't know my strength at all. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.